Good morning. How's that? I've been told that my mic is too close to my face. But I like it there, you know? Good morning, everyone. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Let me move a few things around real quick. I hope you're enjoying that close-up of my face. Hey, none of your goddamn business. Good, bad views. Bad views. Well, how are you liking bad views? How are you liking the Discord? Are you enjoying your time there? Are people treating you respectfully? I haven't seen anybody fuck you on the Peapod. I haven't seen anybody be mean to you yet. New speaker nominee Tom Emmer. Yeah, I saw that. Where are we at? There's a lot of news today, actually. A lot of things happening today. By the way, Mark Emmer also a guy who also an election interference guy, also an election was stolen guy. Just remember, Republicans are not great. They're pretty awful. But what's amazing about Republicans is how often they find the worst of them to be put in leadership positions. It's the only time in history I can really remember that like the worst of the worst are the people that keep getting put up. Berserker, I see you there. Let's see. We'll be yesterday, so I think you got something to say. What's up, brother?
Hello?
Hey.
Hey, what's up?
Hey.
Hey,
You on the treadmill?
Yeah, I'm on a treadmill.
Hell yeah, brother. Hell yeah.
Get
that exercise in.
Yo.
Good for you.
Yeah, gotta get all that testosterone in me.
Yeah. Are we watching Ivory Isabel's live right now or something while she's on the bike?
No, I'm watching you, so I guess
appreciate that.
Yeah, right on. Hey, no, I was gonna say, have you seen that Insurrectionist Next Door on HBO?
No.
Dude, you gotta check that out.
Insurrectionist Next Door?
Yeah, so it's Pelosi's daughter did a whole, I watched it the other day, a whole, like, documentary.
I knew she was filming, I didn't know it had come out.
Yeah, she's on a...
Bro,
dude.
That background noise is horrendous. I will watch this.
Man. Okay, I'll get off. It's all good.
You're good. I'll watch it though. Thank you for letting me know.
Right.
And then I'll follow up with me. I'll watch it tonight.
I will. Okay.
Actually, I'll watch it tomorrow night. Tonight I got a live stream on YouTube.
Okay, all good.
All right. Okay.
Later.
Bye. Hi everybody. There we go. Back to the exercise. I do have a live stream tonight. I'll probably bring this. What did I do? I'll bring it back up later on, but on YouTube tonight, we'll have a live at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. It's at RTPJ. The link is in my link tree. Make sure you're subscribed there so you can see when we go live. It's free. Doesn't cost you anything. I also post the replays of my lives every day. So I got it up this morning from yesterday's. Yesterday was a wild day. It was a very wild day. Jesus, look who's unbanned. Look who's back from TikTok
It's
jail.
the one and only RTP, okay?
Bro, where you been?
I've been a little busy. Been a little tied up with some court cases.
Yeah.
And,
How's that going?
what's going on?
Things are good in MAGA land?
They're great. They're going great. They're going
You saw
spectacular.
two of his attorneys now have pled guilty. That's good news.
Yeah, I mean, they still don't got no RICO. They ain't got no RICO, right?
No, that's what a RICO case is. This is
No, I mean,
a
but
RICO case.
they pled down.
Yeah, why do you think these attorneys are pleading guilty if they're not guilty?
So I would say for like Sidney Powell, some of the things that took place that day were like until Donald Trump can prove any of this to be true, right? There are going to be people that go down for things in history that they don't got nothing on them. And she tweeted that she's not testifying against Trump. I mean, there's nothing to testify against. I mean, when you're testifying, she's going to testify the truth. There's a difference. Testify the truth is not against him.
Required to. She has to testify.
But that's not against him.
But
that's not against him.
How do you?
If you're telling it,
Wait, how do you know?
I have faith in Trump. So I mean,
now I do have a question for you. Donald Trump on Truth Social said Sidney Powell was not his attorney, but clearly she was his attorney. Do you have any thoughts on that?
No, you could be a part of a team and not be his attorney directly.
Well, the problem is Rudy
Well-
Giuliani introduced her as the attorney for Donald Trump and the Trump campaign.
People misspeak all the time, sir.
Okay, he was a misspeak. Okay, and Jenna Ellis, she also pled guilty today.
Yeah. Jenna Ellis has been. She was charged a long time ago. Yeah. I mean, she supposedly flipped a long time ago. You guys thought Rudy flipped a long time ago.
Well, who says Rudy didn't flip? Sorry, I had to.
Oh, I mean, you guys think this. You guys try to it doesn't bother
I
us.
didn't
We're
say, I didn't
mad.
say Rudy flipped. I don't think I said Rudy flipped, but
Well, maybe not you, but maybe not you in particular. But you just seen your comment when you said that. You said, "Well, didn't he?" You know, I mean, you were kind of like
No, I
leaning
said,
that way.
did he? We don't know. We don't know yet, right?
Right, we don't know, but I mean, and that's fair to say. That's just like you don't know if Donald Trump's got the evidence.
That's true, but if he does, he's not.
It is true, though. At least it's true.
If,
You've warmed up a little bit.
If he does have all this evidence, he seems to have kept it completely private from his attorneys, which is a bizarre thing to do when you're in court cases. Now, if you went to court and you wanted the best defense possible, let's say
I'm supposed to be in court right now.
that is not shocking. What did you do?
Oh, nothing. It's just fucking cuss. I got a 17-year-old, and I'm letting him live with his
Okay.
mom's.
All right,
Long story.
Yeah, we don't need to do that. Yeah, I'm just saying, these people who represented him, it seems like he would have provided them the evidence when they went to court, but he just withheld it from them too now? Is that what happened?
No, I don't think anybody's withholding anything. I think that you'd be stupid. I mean, just think about if courts didn't take cases on, almost 3 years ago. That's a long time for people to come up with cooperation, alibis.
These were the attorneys during the election fraud cases, and now they're saying they were committing crimes. And Jenna Ellis specifically said
Committed crimes like breaking into voting machines? Yeah, of course.
Well, and Jenna Ellis, what she said today is
they're guilty of that, aren't they?
I should have vetted the information. It's clear to me now the information wasn't true. Sidney Powell saying the same thing. Both of
that's not what they're saying, though.
Two out of the three of his attorneys. No, they did. No, Jenna Ellis specifically this morning said that.
Well, maybe Jenna Ellis, but that's Sidney Powell did not say that.
Well, Sidney Powell didn't say much. She didn't read a statement, so it's hard to say. But she pled guilty, and then the person.
I don't blame Jenna Ellis. She's young. She wants to have a future.
Yeah, but she also said the information wasn't true.
As far as she knows, I mean, do you think that Jenna Ellis had the whole fucking? You think she's got all the evidence laid out in front of her?
So she was Trump's attorney, and it was her job to be like the public-facing attorney. It was her job to address the media.
Yeah. To address things and fight court cases and stuff like that. No, I mean, I'm saying
kept things from her. Is that the idea?
I most definitely think that only certain people would know key evidence. Yes.
Like who? Who would be more key than your attorney?
I would think that Rudy Giuliani's got you're not going to just let anybody see.
Rudy Giuliani wasn't really
the biggest case in human history, and you think just all these people are going to know, but the whole world's not going to. Nobody's going to leak anything.
I would probably I would probably argue this is not the biggest case in human history, but I would also argue that so far.
No, you've only been on TikTok for 3 years now doing this.
So far,
it's not.
Well, yeah, but I've been alive and I've read history books. I don't know if you know that there's been other cases, but so far,
not like this though.
So far, there's 3 people who were indicted on RICO charges who, instead of going to trial, pled guilty. So far,
right, it's got to tell you. It's got to tell you why the government would do that.
Two of those were his attorneys.
Yeah, maybe the government ain't got the evidence you think they do.
Yeah, that's why everybody's pleading guilty because the government.
No, that's why the government's giving into deals. Yeah. So if you're an innocent man, RTP.
Wait, hold on. If you're innocent, why would you plead guilty?
No, but so let's just say I did something on your behalf. You're innocent, right? And I end up
So in this case, to make it analogous, let's just say you're my attorney, and you went around the country lying about evidence of election.
Well, we didn't say lying. That's not what wasn't what we were saying.
Jenna Ellis said. So
I know, but that's all we were saying. So if I testified it's not against you.
I want to make this analogous. So in this case, you're my attorney. You have gone around the country lying about the evidence, and now you're pleading guilty.
Well,
Now
see, you're adding to this hypothesis that that was my
it's
story.
hypothetical, but I'm just making it analogous by using.
Well, it's actually a hypothesis because I believe this was happened.
Okay, but
You say hypothetical. This is my hypothesis.
Well, this is called a hypothetical because you are not my attorney. So that's why this is a hypothetical and not a hypothesis.
But we're talking about Trump's case basically. You went a hypothesis on his case.
Yeah, so you went around the country as my attorney lying about the evidence, and now you've pled.
But
guilty
you're saying
to
lying.
So.
No, you're saying lying. So they're guilty of breaking into things and tampering with things.
No, she's saying lying. Those are her.
Sure. Jenna Ellis is saying that she was lied to about certain things. That's fine. If she doesn't know all the evidence,
what she said is the evidence wasn't true. She didn't say I was lied to. She said she lied because the evidence that was provided to her wasn't true.
Right, but I don't think it's going to be any damaging coming from Sidney Powell. I don't think anything damaging from his lawyers, except for maybe if she doesn't have anything. Sidney Powell says she's got all the evidence. She said it from day one.
Do you know what she pled guilty to?
She pled down. I forgot what the charge was.
Election interference. 6 counts of election interference.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wait.
Yeah, and she got 6 months probation, right? 6 months probation or something like that.
The attorney that is running around the country saying, "Hey, there was election interference, and it was them. It was her."
Yeah, but because they had broken the machines and stuff like that, and technically those things are illegal, right?
No, that's not all she was. No, 6 counts, my friend. 6 counts.
I know, but they.
Oh no. I hope you guys didn't report. Please don't report people for this kind of stuff. I don't know what happened there. Hopefully I dodged it, but I hope you guys don't report. Please don't do that. He didn't run. He for sure got in trouble. I'm looking for opposition only in the box. I see some of you, but I will bring up Cassie because that's a subscriber. So Cassie, thank you. Maureen, I don't report. Thank you, Maureen. Hi, Cassie. Oh no. I don't know. All right. That was uncomfortable. Very, very uncomfortable. Let's go Lime Putty. This is a cat. This is a picture of a cat. This gotta be a liberal. There's a thing about liberals and cats.
And once you've reached your audience, Shopify has the internet's best converting checkout to help you turn them from customers.
Why are you guys trying to get me taken down, you losers? You bunch of losers. All right, Stevie. Hey, Stevie.
Hi, how you doing?
Hi.
I'm just really thrown by these people still that are supporting them, aren't you?
No, they're making a lot of sense. They're starting to sway me. They're really starting to sway me. Now more than ever, Donald Trump now more than ever, he's an appealing candidate. He's right? So good. Yeah.
Oh, it's so weird though that, I mean, Trump's scared. They're all turning on him.
Yeah. Yeah, probably.
Yeah, and somebody said that he wasn't accused of any SA, and he has to pay over $5 million for being found guilty in a civil court. So I don't know what they don't understand.
Yeah, I don't know. But I am just looking for opposition right now, if that's okay.
I know.
Right.
I wanted that guy to stay. That's why I was coming.
Yeah, I just do 1v1. Sorry about that. I don't know if you've been here before. Sorry. Yeah, sorry about that.
I'm out.
All right, thanks, Stevie.
Yep.
Appreciate it. Thank you, Stevie. Sorry, it might be new. If anybody's new here, I just do 1v1, no matter what, and I try and have opposition for the entire time. Pitiful Peanut. We'll go there. Guy Fox, I see you, dude. And look, if we run out, I'll bring you up. But conversations with you take like 3 hours. And the fence sitting gets me a little bit. What's up, Pitiful Peanut? Oh my goodness. What is going on? What the hell is happening today? That's correct, Allie in the Discord. That was not professional. What is going on today? Are any of you people real? I don't even know. And I gotta start checking profiles before I let people up. All right, that looks like a whole bunch of liberal. Listen, if you're in the box and you are not opposition, can we please drop down? It looks like all liberals in the box right now. I was checking profiles. Please, for the love of God. I can't. I need more people to come on here and fart. Or shower, apparently, Cassie. What did we decide with Cassie? Did anybody hear from Cassie? What happened there? How did you even get up here? All right. The hell do you want?
All right, it's about time. Come on now.
Don't put everybody to sleep here.
No. I got a take for you that is
right.
going to shift it. All right. This is why I don't think MAGA is over, and this is why I actually think that Trump's going to win in 2024. So
once again, you're definitely not a conservative. You're definitely a lefty, right?
I'm definitely a lefty I'll tell you what, that has very libertarian leanings with certain things. But let me give you an angle that I haven't heard yet on your podcast here. All right. So ever since what's happened between Israel and the Palestinians over the last 2 weeks, you've seen a far more severe splintering of the quote unquote far left, quote unquote progressive, quote unquote squad that are even now, somewhat mobilizing and even overtly, threatening the Biden administration with like, hey, we're voters in Minnesota and Michigan. We're the swing voters. We're the group that if you do not do as we are, asking for here with your 100% support of Israel, you're going to potentially lose in 2024. And as I've been saying for a long time now, as an independent third-party voter, that type of splintering is exactly what is going to create a potential environment for someone like Trump to win.
So I've seen some of the stuff you're talking about. First of all, I will say this unequivocally, and this is where I'm going to have some separation with the left. Like, if you support Hamas, fuck you. Like, just honestly, fuck you. If you full throw, like, if you support Israel, also fuck you. Like, both of you. These are both bad organizations. You cannot justify the unaliving of innocent people in any scenario. You can't do it. Like, especially as lefties, like we've been going after Bush. We've been talking about Iraq forever. We've talked about even, lefties love to criticize Obama for drone strikes, Trump for drone strikes, Biden the same way. That's fine. I think that's fair criticism. But for the lefties who are pro Hamas, I don't give a shit. I've seen what you're talking about. My question is this: like, do you really think that there's two questions? It's a two-parter. Number one, do you think those people will vote for Trump? Do we lose him? How do we lose him? What is going on today? Yo, if you guys are reporting, please stop that. That's crazy. That's two people. That's two people now that have been booted for nothing. If you are reporting, knock that shit off. We've got to be able to have conversations. We have to. Don't report people unless it's if they're being openly racist, or like if they're being openly bigoted and saying certain words, right? Like, we got to be able to have these conversations. We can't just run people out for that. But yeah, I guess that's my question for anybody that okay, maybe he didn't get booted, maybe he just lost connection. Sorry, I yelled at you guys.
Yeah, no, it said that I was dropped by the host, so maybe one of your mods got a little froggy, possibly.
Huh. I'll check on it.
Yeah.
It said you were dropped by me?
It said I was dropped by the creator, yeah. So it must have been one of your mods.
I wonder if that's what happened to David too. I'll check with my mods. Anyways,
yeah, it wasn't TikTok. It wasn't any reporting, I don't think.
Okay, I'll check with them. Thank you.
Yeah. I wanted to respond though to your comment though.
Yeah. So first question is, do you think that they'll vote for Trump?
No, No, I don't
Okay,
think the lefties will vote for Trump. I think that there may be an argument to vote for a third party, Cornel West specifically.
fair enough.
Even RFK Jr. now that he's put his name as an independent and is planning a 50 state approach, I think that his appeal will have cross aisle type of appeal, appealing to both progressives and libertarians in many ways, or lefties at least like me that kind of cross the lines in many ways. But I did want to say something with your what I think is a mistake in trying to draw a moral equivalency between Israel and Hamas.
I'm not
Because
drawing. It's not a moral. It's not a moral equivalency here. Like if we wanted to get in the minutia, and I'm careful about this, to be honest, Guy, and I wouldn't really go too far into this because this is something
Sure.
that I'm careful because I don't want to give out misinformation, and like I'm playing catch up on this entire thing. My only point in saying that is that in any scenario, when you're justifying the unaliving of innocent people, fuck you. Now, you can look at Israel, you can look at the numbers. I mean, if you look at Israel and the numbers over the last 20 years, you can make an argument that Israel's the worst. If you talk about Hamas and you talk about their connections to Iran, and just their, like, it doesn't matter. We could spend hours and not figure out who the bad guy is because there's two bad guys. And we could say, like, who's the worst, and maybe that's a productive conversation for another time. But
Sure.
at the end of the day, like, innocent people are losing their lives. Innocent people are losing their homes. And it's essentially over. Well, I'll be careful about that. I'll leave it at that.
No, that's fair. And it's your live. I'm not going to derail it
Appreciate
and
that.
stay on the subject, of course, of MAGA and Trump. So look, I've been put in a somewhat precarious situation because I know you think I'm full of it, but I'm not. But I've been put in a precarious situation where I've found myself defending Trump's, specifically his foreign policy. Now, it's
Like
all a
what?
matter of comparing and contrasting. So over the 4 years during Trump's tenure, all right, you saw, and this is my perspective, allow me to finish and then tell me where you think I'm wrong. First and foremost, you saw a relative level of detente vis-a-vis Russia, where for the most part, it was a relatively quiet time between Russia and its immediate neighbors, right? If we know that during the Obama administration, Russia took Crimea, and then now during the Biden administration, Russia invaded Ukraine itself, Ukraine proper. During Trump's era, there wasn't any of that type of behavior, right? Second, Abraham Accords, the most substantive Middle East peace agreements in decades, for that matter, really since the Jimmy Carter. Have you seen that level of peace agreements and normalization of relations between Israel and its Arab neighbors? Okay, and third, from my perspective, again, is a relative less
Can we,
antagonistic behavior.
dude? I suck at this. I won't remember this. Can we go one by one?
Yeah,
I
100%.
promise. The first one was that you were saying because you had the annexation of Crimea during the Trump administration, and then obviously
No,
you have
during the Obama administration.
Obama administration, and then obviously you have the what's going on now under the Biden administration. You have
Correct.
them invading Ukraine. Okay.
So
I guess my question is this: like, what did Trump do to stop any of it? Like, did he do anything about Crimea?
he didn't do anything about Crimea, but and again,
when
this is
let
me
me keep,
speculating, but sure.
fair enough. He didn't do anything about Crimea. Do you think it would be fair? Here's what I'd say. I think what you're saying is possible. I think what you're saying that it's possible that Trump might have been a better job with Russia. I also think it's entirely possible that Russia viewed Trump as an asset, and so they were very careful. It was more systematic. They knew they could get what they wanted out of him. They didn't have to act so irrationally. When you have Donald Trump over there, like on Russian soil, saying he trusts Vladimir Putin over our own intelligence agencies, like that was a big deal. People like to pretend that wasn't a big deal, and Trump walked it back later. But even the way he walked it back was silly. We all knew what that was. He was saying exactly what he was saying. He knew what he was saying there. I trust Vladimir Putin over our intelligence agencies. And if you don't think that that's true, then you got to explain to me, like, why Trump has spent all this time talking so well about Vladimir Putin and doing nothing but attacking our intelligence agencies.
The simple answer is because he's, for lack of a better word, a natural diplomat. He knows how
Oh my
to
God.
butter the bread.
No,
Hold on a
dude.
second. Hold on a second. Give me a second.
Brother.
Bear with me.
No,
Bear with me a second.
He's not a
He's
natural
brute.
diplomat. No, he's a
natural
horrible
diplomat.
Wait,
in the
he's a
sense that he-
terrible diplomat. He's a terrible diplomat. Every time he met with any of our allies, he fucked things up. He's a terrible diplomat. He likes doing things that people haven't done before. That's
Sure.
it. And he got played. He got played by Putin, and he got played by North Korea. Happened twice.
How
He
did
was
he get
so
played
he was so
by Putin? How did, let me ask you a question. During
sure.
Trump's tenure, right? How were relations between Russia and the US, and then Russia by default with Western Europe and NATO, worse than they are now? Because
No.
if we, but they weren't, right? Today they're far worse.
No, but
Today's
why? The question is why?
Well, I mean, so my perspective, Putin did what he did when he did it because he saw the writing on the wall that it was an inevitability that Ukraine would either be eventually part of the EU or even possibly NATO in the not too distant future. And in order to preempt that, he needed to ensure that Ukraine didn't have the ability to apply to these two institutions, right? Because
Okay.
we know that any country is in a hot war with another one can't join NATO. So creating
So,
a
but you have
protracted,
But you have
yeah,
you have Putin, you have Donald Trump over in Russia playing or I guess it was at the G7 playing patty cake with Putin, who had already invaded Ukraine. He was there. He had already annexed Crimea. This was already starting, and Donald Trump went over there and played softball with him. Of course, Putin's like, "All right, cool. We have an ally here in Donald Trump." Like,
or minimum, we
don't you
have
think it's
somebody,
possible
or
that Putin? Don't you think it's possible that Putin would have rather diplomatically taken over Ukraine, or diplomatically kept Ukraine from like becoming part of the EU or becoming part of UN? Certainly,
yes, of
yeah.
course. That's my point, though.
But it's
Because
still,
Putin,
but
I
it's
don't think
still
they saw an
allowing, but it's
asset in
still
Trump.
allowing Putin. It's still allowing Putin to dictate the outcome for Ukraine.
Right, and we can
Either
disagree
way,
with that, but
either way, the
right.
Ukrainians lose their sovereignty.
So look. You understand what realpolitik is. You understand that if tomorrow China was to create some sort of defense pact with Mexico and want to potentially put missiles and bases in Mexico, regardless if Mexico has a sovereign right to do so because it's their country, America wouldn't stand for a second. So
Sure.
understanding this reality, right? Understanding that traditionally Ukraine and Eastern Europe, for the most part, has been part of the sphere of influence of Russia, whether it was through the Soviet Union and the Warsaw Pact, right? And since it's diminishing from the 90s and many Eastern European countries, including the Baltic countries, falling into the fray of NATO and Western Europe, for Russia, Ukraine was a red line. Now, that's not justifying their invasion. That's not saying that what Putin did was legal, moral, or right. It's simply stating that we can rationalize it and understand why he did it. So if you have a president of the United
Sure.
States,
Wait,
let me
but
finish one thought. Let me finish one thought.
that was a
If we
long.
have a
This is a
United,
long ass thought.
I
Dude.
know, I monologue.
This is
pretty
what I
much.
was telling you. You're gonna put everybody to sleep.
No,
Keep
no,
going.
but if we understand that Putin viewed Trump as a president of the United States that wasn't going to continue to push hard the neoconservative agenda of challenging Russia everywhere, maintaining the status
No,
quo,
not everywhere. Not
well,
everywhere.
specifically Eastern
When
Europe.
they invade other countries, not everywhere. Russia,
My-
if Russia stayed within their borders, great, fine. Nobody's gonna mess with Russia. We're not like there were there've been
Russia's
there were olive branches offered by this administration as well. Russia has been given chance after chance after chance after chance to prove that they're not going to try and like remake the USSR. You can't say that Putin that's not his goal. That his goal is not to expand his power. And fair enough, so it's ours too. But I think the spin here that Donald Trump somehow would have made things better is wrong. He might have done things differently, but at the end of the day, we're still talking about the sovereignty of other nations, even in the continuing sovereignty of Baltic nations. The very things you're talking about. Putin can either do it diplomatically through shills and people that he feels like he can control, like Trump, or he can do it militarily when he feels like he can't control somebody. He didn't feel like he could control Obama. He didn't feel like he could control Biden. He definitely felt at ease under Donald Trump, and I don't think that that's a good thing.
So you're describing soft power versus hard power, right? And ultimately, you're right. And throughout the years, Putin has implemented and attempted to use soft power, so to speak, to maintain his sphere of influence. Belarus, Moldova. Now,
Sure.
Crimea, we know why Crimea happened when it happened, because that's when the politics in Ukraine shifted, right? That's when a pro-Western, pro-NATO, pro-America president came into power. So Putin initiated the first salvo by maintaining its control of the Black Sea, right? And basically taking and annexing Crimea and saying this is ours now. Now,
Correct.
what happened in 2022 is the inevitability when you see the writing on the wall that NATO is getting closer and closer to becoming part of that alliance, part of that status quo. So again, the Russian red line has been traditionally, we don't want the Eurasian steppe, which is Ukraine, to fall into the hands of NATO. Again, you could disagree with it. By the way, I disagree.
Yeah. You're talking about a sovereign country
Right.
joining another organization, so that in order, and Russia doesn't like this because it loses power.
Right.
That's fine. That's fine. Like Russia deserves nothing. We should not trust Russia. Russia
but-
breaks every agreement we ever have with them. Vladimir
Now
Putin is
you're-
absolutely corrupt. There is nothing wrong with Ukraine. Imagine if you were Ukraine. Imagine you're a Ukrainian. Would you want to sit next to Russia without any protection? Or would you think like, hey, maybe if we join NATO here, we've got a little more protection?
Right. But again,
Yeah,
now
so
you're
of course I'm
ignoring-
going to
you're
stand up for
ignoring reality,
Ukraine.
though.
Of course I'm
course
going to
you will,
stand
and-
for Ukraine.
Of course, most people would too, because hey, you're not allowed to do that. But at the end of the day, we don't live in the world of what's right and wrong. We live in the world that actually exists. And the example, the analogy that I gave you with
Okay, but you
China
have to
and
you have
Mexico,
to look at no, but you have to look at this.
is relevant.
You are so soft on Donald Trump. This is a man who wanted to dismantle NATO. He did not want NATO to exist. He went to Russia. He told Putin like, "Oh, I trust you over our intelligence agencies." If you were using the same logic that you used to make some of these other leaps, I think you would make the leap that like, hey, that might have been a Russian stooge. By the way, the same guy who was, while he was president, was trying to put a deal together in Moscow. And we all know now at this point that Donald Trump cares more about his money than he cares about this country. He cares more about his money than anything in the world. And it turns out for 2 years of his presidency, he was still working a deal for Trump Tower Moscow. The amount of red flags here, the amount of leash that Donald Trump gave Vladimir Putin throughout his presidency led to this stuff. And I think you're being really, really unfair about it. And this is why I say, like, you're really smart. You educate yourself on all of this. You say you're a lefty. You say you're more libertarian. But, like, then you don't apply that equally. You don't apply everything equally to Trump. If you're applying the same logic you used everywhere else, and you don't apply it to Trump, you don't put all the facts in with Trump. You have all the facts necessary for Putin, for why things happened in Russia, for why things are happening in Ukraine, for why they wanted to join NATO. But you're going to leave out all this context about how Trump definitely has Russian money, definitely was interested in more Russian money, definitely openly called for Russia to be part of our elections. Like, hey, get us those emails, Russia. Definitely kept lying about the fact that his team had contacts with them. Definitely undersold the fact that Russia certainly was involved in our election. And then he goes on and he's soft on Russia for 4 years, and you guys are like, oh, he just loves peace. He just loves peace. No.
Hold on a second. So first of all, if you want me to, obviously you want me to be the other side on this conversation. I have plenty of talking points that are critical of Trump.
No, I don't
can do
care
that
about
just as easily.
This time, guy, I don't want to be sides. I don't think there needs to be sides. There's plenty of things you can criticize Obama for and Biden for in all of this. But what I feel like you do regularly is that you place a lot of blame on lefties, and fair enough. Like you feel like the left has abandoned you. You feel like the things that we stand for, we give into way too much. I get that. I get that. You've got PTSD, leftist PTSD. I get that. But sometimes what you do is maybe unintentionally, maybe intentionally, you become an advocate for the right. You're advocating for people who literally want fascism. And as a leftist, as a libertarian, like, you certainly wouldn't want fascism. But the way that you come off is that you're advocating for the people who would instill fascism in this country, which is why I'm not sure if you're a libertarian or not. You're either really, really educated and you're a fascist, or you're just jaded by the left. And I've never figured out which one it is.
Maybe a combination of both. But at the end of the day,
Wait, are you a fascist?
No. Fascist? No.
You just said a combination of both when I said
no,
jaded and a fascist.
I thought you said jaded with the left and libertarian like anarchist or something.
No, I said a fascist.
Oh, never mind. So no, I'm not a fascist, obviously. I mean, come on.
I don't know. Honestly, guy, like, I don't know. I'm 50-50 on it. I hear what you say, but you're really, really hard on lefties and really, really soft on fascists. You're soft on Putin. You're soft on Trump.
No, it's not a matter of being soft on Putin. It's a matter of countering the level of justfully, by the way, justified criticism on Putin and on Russia. Putin is an autocrat. Okay, let's just establish this. Putin is an autocrat. He's a tyrant. He runs Russia with an iron fist. He runs the oligarchs, and that's what he is. Well, let's not pretend that he's some sort of savior or he's some sort of good guy, because obviously he's not. But at the end of the day,
But you still spend
No,
more
but-
time talking about everybody else than Putin. This is a man who you just said it's an autocrat.
No, but
or an autocrat.
right, but-
He's
but
a
I also-
dictator, and he's invading other countries. And you want to come on here and be like, oh well, he wouldn't have done that if he had the stooge still in office.
Well, no. I think that he wouldn't have done that if there hasn't been NATO expansionism east for the last 30 years, right? He wouldn't have done that if the traditional Russian sphere of influence that's been
It
true
doesn't matter.
since the end of World War II.
It does not matter.
Of course it matters, because
no,
we
it
almost
doesn't.
went
No,
to
it
World
doesn't.
War III
It doesn't even.
because
It
of
doesn't
the
even
Cuban Missile
remotely.
Crisis.
No, it doesn't even remotely matter when all these other nations want to come together. And you say NATO expansion as if NATO is invading these countries and taking them over. It's not an expansion. Like these are countries that are like, hey, we would like to form an alliance with you, NATO. The expansion is what Russia is doing in annexing Crimea and then invading Ukraine. You talk about NATO
isn't
as
a
if
bad word.
yeah, but it's not an expansion of NATO.
It's a slur.
It's an alliance of a bunch of people who don't want to deal with Russia and want protection. They don't have the resources that Russia has. They're right next to Russia. They want protection, and so they're like, we will get into an alliance with you if you offer us protection. And that's not justification to annex Crimea and then invade Ukraine. It's just not. It doesn't matter if they do it for 60 years, 100 years, 300 years. Until somebody annexes Russia or invades Russia, then Putin needs to sit back and shut the fuck up. Like,
So let me ask you a
he has
question.
no right to invade another country, no matter how big Ukraine gets.
Right.
Or,
Let me ask you a
NATO
question.
gets.
So let me ask you a question, because we're seeing across South America and even Central America left-leaning quasi-socialists coming into power, being elected, and these people are creating close ties with China. That in the not too distant future, if these countries start signing not only economic agreements but even defense pacts with China, which would then allow for Chinese.
Where's the evidence that they're going to sign defense? Where's the
Hold
evidence
on,
that they're going to?
I'm speculating. I'm creating a hypothetical.
Okay, but
for
I'm
you.
going to ask because I understand what you're saying about the economic relationships with China. That makes sense. China has cheap product. They have cheap labor. They can do things that other countries cannot. But that you slid in like this military idea, right? Like who's going to be signing these agreements with China?
Okay, so hold on. So you know what? Forget about the hypothetical I'll create. What happened during the Cuban Missile Crisis?
A lot of things. You're going to have to be more specific.
All right, so we know that the USSR wanted to put intermediate ballistic missiles in Cuba. And for the United States, even though Cuba is a sovereign country and aligned itself with the USSR, the US put a blockade and said, if you cross this line with those missiles, it's World War III. So the U.S. basically played brinksmanship, and they won because eventually Khrushchev capitulated, which also meant that the U.S. Withdrew missiles from Turkey at the time. But at the end of the day, Cuba wasn't sovereign and free to do what it wanted and to have a military alliance with the USSR because the U.S. wouldn't stand for it.
Correct.
So how is that any different than what Russia did in Ukraine?
I don't think
explain
it's. Yeah, I don't think it's that different.
Right.
I don't justify what we've done. I don't justify what the United States has done in Cuba.
Oh, okay.
But just because it happened doesn't mean that now, 60 years later, I've got to look at this and go, well, fuck it, we did it, so Russia can do it.
Right. So I'm never justified what Russia did. I'm simply rationalizing it, just like how I rationalized what the U.S. did, and just how I speculate that if South American or Central American or anyone in the Western Hemisphere were to become closer with China.
No. Wait, you didn't rationalize it. What you did is you showed an example that was kind of similar. Like I'm with you. They're similar in some ways. They're not directly similar, but they are similar in some ways. You didn't do anything but say like, oh well, we did this 60 years ago, so now they can do it. Or they're doing it now because of what we did 60 years ago. Fine.
No, they're not doing it.
They still can't do it, dude. Like, I'm still not okay with it.
So once again, let's not conflate justification with rationalization.
That's what I meant, rationalization.
Right. Justifying it would mean say I agree with you.
Why do you want to spend... So why
Yeah.
spend all this time why spend all this time trying to get in Russia's head, figure out why they rationalize things, compare things that the United States has done so that you can, it sounds like, this is
To
why I say
avert
justification.
World War III, that's why.
It sounds like you are using what happened in Cuba as justification for Russia's rationalization.
No, I'll answer your question. Why do you want to get into Russia's head, into rationalizing things that they do in order to avert World War III? In order to create the atmosphere and the variables that may trigger not only a wider regional war, but potentially a global war. That's the goal.
Great. So expand NATO.
No, expanding. So first of all, let's call a spade here. NATO, Yugoslavia, Libya, Afghanistan. These are all offensive, actions that NATO took as part of the NATO and American, foreign policy.
Again, this is not me defending. This is not me defending NATO. But if we're talking about keeping Russia from expanding, then the best way to do that would be probably expanding NATO.
But then, do you see how though that is it's tantamount to an arms race, to an expansion of a defense pact? Well, Russia now needs to make.
It's not tantamount. No, it's not tantamount to an arms race. It's tantamount to a bunch of fucking countries saying like we are going to join in an alliance against Russia so that we don't have an arms race. It's the exact opposite of an arms race.
I mean, again,
it's literally showing
as a matter
solid.
of principle, I agree with you. But
it's forced by solidarity, right? It's not an arms race. This is not the Cold War.
But it is.
It's
in
not.
many ways.
No,
it's
so
not the
different.
same, but in
so
many
different.
ways it is. In many ways, it's spheres of influence, resources, natural resources, and territory, right? And since the end of the Cold War, since the fall of the Soviet Union, now again, I'm not saying they didn't have a right to. Of course they did. But in the past, Russia didn't have either the means, will, or capability to counter it. With regards to Ukraine, once again, if you understand it, then you understand that was the red line for Russia. And from Russia's perspective,
but then Russia kept breaking all their agreements. That red line's gone now. They don't get a red line anymore. You can't invade Crimea. You can't break all your agreements. You can't continue to do what Russia has done and then be like, but we had a deal.
Well, and yet they did. So ultimately,
yeah, and yet they did, which is why I say expand. Right. Again, I'm getting in trouble by everybody. Everybody's bored by this a little bit. I'll give you the last word though.
Yeah. So no, look. My take on this is, at least with regards to foreign policy, Trump's relative isolationism and quote unquote putting America first, plus not exasperating the neoconservative agenda, is why he has broad appeal among not only libertarians but even some progressives who are seeing what's happened over the last 3 years under Biden's administration and the world basically, being lit on fire. Not 100% due to Biden, but because of the neoconservative agenda that Biden is the poster child of ultimately.
And I would say that Trump's isolationism is bullshit, largely. He expanded the amount of troops we had all over the world during his presidency. He continued to use drone strikes. He continued to bomb. He's not an isolationist. What he is he isolates himself from anybody who criticizes him. That's actually what happened. You had countries across the world that were like, what is this guy doing? And then he's like, oh, then he would act and react, and he would isolate us because they said mean things about him or they were critical of him. He's not actually an isolationist. He's a petulant child. If countries speak kindly of him, he loves them. If they don't, then he wants to pull us out of every agreement that we've ever had with them. He's a child. He's not an isolationist. And I think that libertarians everywhere should understand that. If you guys are not seeing through his rhetoric based on his actions, I don't know what to tell you. He's not a libertarian, he's not a libertarian. He doesn't practice libertarianism. He doesn't practice isolationism. He's just a person who gets his feelings hurt a lot.
I would have loved to have touched on the Abraham Accords, but I know you probably want to bring other people up, so
we'll do it another time.
Sounds good. Don't ignore my request next time.
Well, sometimes I have to. All right, brother. See ya.
Peace.
Bye. All right. Just looking for opposition in the box, please. If you're not opposition, if you could drop down. Sorry, Discord. Discord is not. Look, and this isn't my strong point. So I apologize. I have to speak really general when we're talking about Russia and foreign policy in general, because if you get one thing wrong, if you say something and you even like misstate how you present the facts, you can get in a lot of trouble, meaning I can lose my life. So I'm pretty careful about that. All right, Lombardi. Hey, Lombardi, welcome.
Hey, how's it going?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing good. It's a beautiful day outside. How about yourself?
Ah, wonderful. I'm in Arizona, so it's sunny like every day, and it
Oh,
finally
that's
cooled
beautiful.
down. What about you? Where are you at?
Oh, Mississippi?
I've heard of that. It's
Oh,
in the
yeah.
South.
It sure is.
What's up? What do you want to talk about?
Oh, well, you said that MAG is over, and you're
Yeah.
dead wrong.
Oh, okay. Why's that?
Well, Trump is running. You didn't know that?
No, I knew that. His support seems to be slipping.
No, it ain't.
Well,
It's stronger than ever.
when he left office, he had 90% support in the GOP. It's down below 60% now. The person he just endorsed for House Speaker lost, and the more he was tied to Trump, the more votes he seemed to lose there.
Well,
Donald Trump in 2020 obviously lost the election, and then in 2022
he didn't lose the election.
he did. And in 2022, virtually everybody that he endorsed that was in a tight race lost. His endorsement for people in swing states can actually hurt them. It hurts them more than it helps them. I think it's possible that you being in Mississippi, you're not aware of what's happening around the rest of the country in formerly red
aware.
state. Well, how about like my state? I live in Arizona. He largely lost Arizona because 60,000 registered Republicans voted for Joe Biden because they don't like him.
Well, that's because, I mean, you guys, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but you guys were at the center of that whole scandal.
Correct. I'm in Maricopa County, my friend.
Oh, well, I mean, there
Yeah.
you go.
So let me tell you what happened in Arizona. First, after the election, the Republicans hired a group of people to investigate the election. They had no experience doing that, but they hired them anyways. Those people came in, they investigated the election, they found that there was no evidence that the election was stolen. Then the Republican Party hired another
That's not
group to
true.
do it. Then the state audited it. We've had our election audited 3 times. By the way, because of people like Donald Trump and those who follow him, it's cost us millions of dollars in taxpayer money to keep relitigating this. And you know what's come out of it? Not one thing. He lost, and he lost fairly. And the people who did the investigation were largely Republican, almost all of them. The places they're talking about when the polling went down, that was in Maricopa County, just down the street from me. I'm in the East Valley of Maricopa County. That's where all the problems were. It's heavily Republican. It's entirely run by Republicans. Maricopa County itself was run by a Republican. You guys just buy things that you're lied to about. I'm living in
Well, that's not true.
No, it is true. And that's why you see that Sidney Powell and Jenna Ellis, 2 of Trump's lawyers, now have pled guilty. And Jenna Ellis said today, as she pled guilty, again, his lawyer, that the information she was given was not true.
Well, I mean, they had other things that they had going on, so that's why they was.
See, but what, Lombardi? What did they have going on?
I mean, they had some election things going on. But what I'm getting at,
No,
with
what? No, what?
I mean, they have some. I mean, you don't know who you hiring when. Look. I mean, Trump was president, right?
That's true.
I mean, he was busy doing his thing. I mean, you can't always see what other people doing. Is what I'm saying.
Okay, but so there were 60 court cases, almost 60 court cases about election fraud. 0 of them proved any sort of election fraud. Nothing was
Well, that's
overturned.
because Democratic judges.
No, it's not true. In
That is
Arizona,
true.
this is the thing, Lombardi, and I mean this respectfully, I really do. You are being told things by whoever you're getting your information from. They are lying to you. I live in this county. I live in Maricopa County. Most of the judges in Arizona that ruled on these cases were Republican judges, and many of them were Trump-appointed judges. There were many, a majority of where these cases were ruled on were Trump-appointed judges because Trump filed the cases in places where he would get either a Republican or a Trump-appointed judge. That's what you do when you file. You file in a place where you think you can win, and that's what he did. And Republican judges all over this country stared into the eyes of of Trump's attorneys and said, "Do you have any evidence?" And they said, "No." They showed up with a bunch of affidavits, a bunch of things that people signed that said, "This is what we saw." And the judges said, "Can you verify anything that's on any of those affidavits?" And the attorneys said, "No, we cannot."
And you know why they couldn't verify it?
Because it wasn't true, dude.
No, when they was trying to get in there, when they saw it happening, they wouldn't let them in.
That's
was all
also
on the
not
news.
true. See, this is crazy. I don't know what news you're watching. This is so untrue. Do you know how elections work? Do you know how they count votes?
Well, Dominion counted them votes.
No, Dominion doesn't count votes. Do you know how votes are counted?
Well, some of them do it by hand. I think. Well, some of them. and
Yeah,
they
so
got a
in
machine to
Arizona,
verify.
every single vote has been counted by hand. And do you know who counts those votes?
Well, I mean, you saw in Atlanta
No,
they had.
no. Do you know who counts the votes? You can say no. It's okay if you don't know.
I do know, but
Who?
I mean, they
Okay,
bring
who counts the
random people.
votes?
Random people off the street.
Two people. No, it's not random people off the streets, by the way. A Democrat and a Republican sit at a table together and they count the votes. And those Democrats and Republicans are appointed
That's
by
not what
people.
happened in Georgia.
That's exactly what happened in Georgia. You don't know what you're talking about. This is exactly what happens everywhere when you have a hand count. You have two people that are counting the ballots, and you're going through and you're making sure the count. And then if you have like a signature problem, if you want to verify the signature, both the Democrat and the Republican have to agree on that signature. If they don't, then a supervisor from the Democrat and the Republican Party come over and they make that decision with them. This was actually the person that Trump appointed to oversee the elections said this was the most safe and secure election in American history.
Ain't no way somebody said that.
Yeah, but ain't no way. You see, this is called cognitive dissonance. You want to believe something, Lombardi. You like Trump, and you can't figure out why other people don't. So rather than figure that out, what you're going to do is you're going to say, there ain't no way.
You said that was the most secure election.
That's what
When
the
we
person...
had massive
Yes.
voter fraud.
We did not have massive voter fraud. We didn't. We did not have massive voter fraud. You have been lied to repeatedly by
That's
Donald
what
Trump and
said.
all the people who follow him. You've been lied to now for 3 years, and every court case in America has shown that you've been lied to. His attorneys are now admitting that they were lying. There are multiple people around him that admit they were lying. Republicans who worked with him, even Jim Jordan admits that there was not enough election. There was
Jim
not
Jordan
enough
didn't
fraud.
say that.
No, he said there was not enough fraud. There was not enough evidence to overturn the election.
I ain't
And
never
that-
heard Jim Jordan say nothing like that.
Well, I'm sorry that you didn't hear Jim Jordan saying nothing like that, but he certainly did. Do you want me to play it?
Yeah, I would. Yeah, if you got the clip,
Sure, I can pull it up.
and if it ain't no deep fake,
Why do you think Donald Trump's attorneys are saying that there was no proof of election fraud?
well, some of them took plea deals.
Yeah, why do you think they took a plea deal?
Well, I mean, because they got a lot of because they're in Democratic strongholds, and them Democratic prosecutors.
Wait, no, these are not elected attorneys. This is Jenna Ellis and
I know they ain't. What I'm saying is that they.
so what
they
about
got-
Democratic strongholds?
I mean, they got Democratic prosecutors and Democratic judges, and they ain't got. I mean, they know they ain't got no way out, so they gonna jump ship because they ain't got no backbone.
Oh, or maybe they were guilty.
They weren't guilty.
See, this is crazy, dude. This is fucking crazy. This is why I say MAGA is over, because it's filled with people like you. When confronted with reality, you close your eyes and say, no, 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 no. Dude, it's falling apart in front of your face. The people that Donald Trump hired to defend him are saying that it wasn't true, and you refuse to believe it.
What's your name?
Jay.
Jane. If that was true, Donald Trump would not be running for president. I mean, he couldn't run for president.
Donald Trump is why couldn't he run for president?
I mean, if he was guilty of everything you said he was,
Well, he hasn't gone to court yet.
Well, apparently he'd been in court.
And by the way, you can be guilty of all these crimes and still run for president.
I don't believe that.
What the fuck, dude? How do you not believe that? You can be a convicted felon and run for president. You can run for president from a jail cell. There's no rules against that. I promise you, dude. You got to look this stuff up. I mean it. Donald Trump can be in jail and be the president. And you would still vote for him.
So you think the president can be
Would you
in
vote
jail
for Donald Trump if he was in
and
jail?
be president?
Yes, it's 100% fact that can happen. Would you vote for him if he was in jail?
I mean, yeah. I mean, well, first of all, he wouldn't go to jail.
So wait, you said like he wouldn't be running if he was in jail, but you would vote for him if he was in jail. So all he needs is people like you, and what he needs people like you to do is keep thinking that you know more than everybody else. That despite all the evidence that piles up against him, that he's telling you the truth. As long as people like you believe him in the face of all the evidence, he'll keep making money, he'll keep grifting, and he'll keep running. This is lucrative to him. He has fundraised almost $50 million to pay for his legal defenses, and he doesn't pay his lawyers. He hasn't used any of that money. He's just actually stealing money from you people, and you don't know. You have no idea. This is absolutely a grift. He just cares about money. He cares about power, and he cares about money, and he cannot ever admit that he was wrong, and he can't ever admit that he lost. He left. You could spend all day on the internet, and you could search for a time when Donald Trump admitted he was wrong, and I don't think you could find one. Don't think it could happen. All right. Connor Adams. No, Connor. Again, if you're in the box and you're not opposition, if you could drop down, that would be great. What is this? You guys all running in packs? It's like the last of the Trumpians. Let's see. Fang, are you opposition, Fang? I swear to God, I know I mix up profile pictures. I didn't think you were opposition. So I'm gonna skip you for now. I don't know what happened. He might have got hit for misinformation. It's possible. He said a lot of things. I don't know if he got bumped or not. Just inquiring. Welcome.
Yeah. I don't have much to say other than just be careful with who you bring on here. That guy was obviously a paid actor. I mean,
that's silly. No, I don't know. I'll bring on who I want. I'll bring him on. It's fine. These aren't paid actors, dude. That's a real person.
Was. I watch your live daily, and he was on 2 days ago. Completely different accent, same name, same everything. I mean, I went
maybe
to his
you're right.
profile.
All right.
Same name, same profile pic, and everything. So I mean, yeah, it's your live. You can do whatever you want.
So what kind of accent was he using before?
He wasn't from Mississippi, and he didn't have that country bumpkin accent. That's what I can tell you. So
all right, I apologize. I came in hot at you. I apologize. You might have been right. Okay.
All right, man.
I appreciate it, brother. See it. Maybe that could be the case. There are some people that come on here. I don't know why. There are people who we've caught them faking their accent before. I don't know why I was surprised by that. That was a good Mississippi accent then. TJC, welcome. TJC? TJC? See ya. Chris, Chris, you're so stupid. Chris. Socially inept 2020. Again, I'm just going to say one more time. If you're opposition, please hop out of the box. Which Danielle is this? All right, Danielle, I'll give you a sec. What's up? Boomhound, dude, it was Boomhound. Hey, Danielle.
I'm sorry. I'm not an op.
You're good. What's up?
And I will get down right now. But that guy was in Mr. Jones's live this morning. So I'm not sure he's a paid actor. I just want to make that real clear. That guy is
Mississippi
very
man?
genuine. Yeah, he's incredibly genuine. and he's a huge bigot, and he's against gay marriage, and he's incredibly racist, and he thinks that God, what did he say? That slavery began in the 1600s, I think he said, or like the 1800s. I don't know. It was wild. He's incredibly misinformed. But I just want
Okay.
to let you know, I'm sorry for joining. I know you
No,
didn't
you're good.
want.
No, I appreciate that.
All
I
right.
gave you.
Well, thank you.
I wasn't following you back for some reason. Now I am.
Oh, that's awesome.
All right,
All
Daniel.
right. Well,
Thanks.
hopefully one of these days I can just come up and talk.
We're gonna do
I
that. We're
really
gonna do that
appreciate
soon. It's on its way.
it. All right, sweetheart.
Thanks,
Thank you so
Danielle.
much.
You bet. See ya.
All right, bye.
All right, Socially Inept 2024. Welcome.
What's happening with you, Jay? How you doing, brother?
Life's good. How are you?
Oh, I can't complain. It didn't fix nothing.
What do you want to talk about?
I want to remind you, you and I have a standing bet that if Trump wins, you're going to wear the Trump hat and fucking t-shirt, my brother. Do you remember me?
I remember making that bet. I don't specifically remember you. What was your side if he loses?
All right. So if I lose, I got to wear a blue hat. So I got to open up my cam there, and I got to wear all blue, man. I'm a man of my word, brother. We're going to do
why don't
this,
you just
right?
why don't you just vote for Biden and get this shit over with? Are you still holding on to the Trump thing?
Now, well, here, let me tell you on the realness. I ain't stuck about Trump at all. The bottom line is, I like the economy we had, all right? Otherwise, I wouldn't give a piss in a bucket, you know?
But do you ever look at like the economic indicators and figure out why we had that economy? Because it seems like it seems like a really silly thing for anybody who understands economics at all to just be like, oh, whoever the president is, that's why the economy's good.
Well, you know, here's the thing you can't deny, and nobody can. There were several.
I might deny it just because you said that now, though.
Oh, yeah, right. Bite on that. Take a big bite. So several industries or companies were coming back to the U.S. that had recently in the prior years left. And I think that would have to do with the type of businessman that President Trump is.
We had a net loss on those, by the way.
Well, here, Boeing was coming back, right? There were several. Boeing Airlines.
But I live next to Boeing in Arizona. We have a big Boeing plant in Arizona.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of people that were in this stream that saw a B-2 fly over a Boeing the other day.
Right. No, not at all stuck on Trump. To be perfectly real.
Wait, but hold on. You have to understand that, like, under Trump, more companies left, more manufacturing left the country than came in.
Okay, well, I'll be honest. I haven't studied what left. I only know who was coming back.
Well, you said I couldn't deny that. How about Harley Davidson, the most American of American companies going to Mexico under Trump?
Mexico by far is ours anyway, even though it isn't on paper.
No, stop it, dude. Be more honest about this. You need to be more intellectually. You need to be more intellectually honest about this. You can't. No, they're gone. No, wait, they're gone. They left the country.
What do you expect from that kind of taxation? Come on, man.
What taxation? Under Trump? Did Trump tax them?
Do I know?
This happened under Trump.
Okay,
Harley Davidson left under Trump. And by the way, when you're talking about taxation, Joe Biden has not raised taxes.
Can I leave you with this thought?
No, you got to listen for a minute. I need you to understand that more companies left the country under Trump. Like more manufacturing jobs left the country under Trump than came here. And secondly, Joe Biden has not increased taxes.
Okay.
So do you understand? So real quick then, why are you voting for Trump? Because the thing you said you cared about the most that nobody could deny, you were wrong about. So could you give me a different reason why you're going to vote for Trump?
The economy was booming, man. Proof was in the.
What did he do to make the economy better?
Oh, geez, man, there's a list. There's a nice
But just
list.
like
I
one
didn't
thing would be
memorize
fine.
any
Just
of
tell
it,
me
but
one
there's a
thing.
nice list. You can go to the government website, the White House website,
But I just
and
want you to tell me
look
one
under
thing
Trump
Donald Trump did. One
It's
thing
right
Donald Trump did that Joe Biden's not doing that made our economy great.
Well, he didn't close the border, but he made it clear coming over would not be a good idea.
That policy remains in place.
Right? And it isn't enforced. What's the point?
How do you know it's not enforced?
Look at the numbers.
Did you know that these massive increases in border crossings started under Trump? Did you know that?
Yeah, actually, I did. I know this was all.
They were flat for like a decade, right around between like 30 and 50,000. I think that was a month. And under Trump, it jumped from like 30 to 50,000 to I believe it was 160,000. And the only reason it was like this, and the only reason it dipped is because of COVID. And then when COVID ended, it went back up like this, and it went here, and it's continued on that pace. The pace that was started under Donald Trump continues today. It's not an issue with our border. It's an issue with what's happening south of our border. It's an issue of the destabilization of many Central and South American countries and those people wanting to come to the United States. This started under Trump. It has nothing to do with Trump, and it has nothing to do with Biden. It has everything to do with the destabilization of Central America and South American countries. That's why this is happening. But you guys are led by a leash to think that this is Joe Biden's fault because, and I need you to listen to this, you don't know what Trump will do. You don't know what he's running on. Everything you say is just a complaint. The Republicans offer no solutions to you. They tell you that if they get power, they'll fix everything, but they can't tell you how. They can't even tell you why we have a problem at the southern border. They just want to scare you into voting for them so they can get power again. And if that wasn't true, and if that isn't true, then you'll be able to respond to me by telling me what Republicans' plan is to fix the border crisis.
Well, one thing is said, and I don't believe it will happen. It didn't happen before. Making that wall, completing it. Oh, wait, there's more. There's more.
How would that fix it? How would that fix it? How would that fix it?
Well, wait, there's more to it.
We're going to go point by point. How would a wall fix the problem we have?
It would make a trickle effect. It would slow it down. It wouldn't stop it.
So it would slow it down and it would overwhelm our ports of entries. It would make our ports of entries more dangerous too, right?
A wall?
More people always means more danger. If you have people crowding around a port of entry, desperate people crowded around a port of entry, waiting in line, you're going to see an increase in violence.
All right, let me give you a question.
Why don't we just instead of a wall, why don't we make more ports of entry? Instead of a wall, why don't we make more ports of entry or make it easier for these people to get here?
I like that concept. That's a good thought, Jay.
Republicans, every single Republican would oppose that.
We have deer crossing signs. That don't mean that's where the deer cross.
Every single Republican would oppose the idea that I just laid out.
No, that's a good idea.
Yeah, but that's why Republicans would oppose it, because it's a good idea.
How many people would actually do it, though? I mean, look, some don't want to be accounted, right?
True.
They want to slide in here like a ghost and ta-da, I'm here.
True.
You know? So, like, I the honest ones or the ones that want to be part of America will use the points of entry. But the ones that don't want to be counted, and we can't know how many people that is.
So what's the solution? See, again, you're back to now. I gave you a solution that Democrats have proposed, and you're back to complaining, and you're still going to leave this and vote for Trump. You don't have any. You have no plan. The Republicans have no plan. I'm giving you actual plans, and you're going to leave this, and you're going to because you've set your mind on it that you're going to vote for Trump. You can't explain anything. You don't know what he's going to do.
That a wall is helpful. It will at least slow it down.
What are they going to do to fix the problems in this country?
Now, what about the other ways that we can protect the border? Heat sensors to know where they're coming in the most around the wall.
We
There's a
have
lot
that.
of technology.
We have that. We have drones flying. We already do that.
Exactly.
Okay,
What I'm
so that's
trying
not
to
a
say
new
is
idea. This is something that's happening. This is happening
being
under the
implemented.
no. Shush. Hold on. This is already happening under the Biden administration. I'm asking you again. You can talk about the economy. You can talk about literally anything. What is one thing that Donald Trump is going to do that he says he's going to do specifically? What is one thing he says he's going to do that makes you feel like you should vote for him?
If he can make this economy better, and he didn't say
No.
didn't say that.
What is one thing specifically he says he's going to do that will make our country better?
He'll make America great. I
That's
love
not
you,
a,
Jay.
do you see how that's not specific? You see how that's not specific? You get it, right?
Yeah, I get it.
So
I
why
do.
vote for him?
I just think he's our best bet. I
You don't
do.
know why though.
Well, I think we have other things going on before than we do right now, man. I don't
Yeah.
see
Yeah, that's not a reason. Times change, right? We had COVID. We had worldwide economic instability. We had worldwide shutdowns. Of course, we had there was a worldwide pandemic. Dude, it's like you're willfully covering your eyes to reality just so that you don't have to admit you were wrong about this con artist that you voted for.
No, I got no
Yeah.
problems with honesty and reality. I just don't see anybody else that would do us any better. I'll be totally.
You don't even know what Donald Trump is going to do. What are you talking about?
You can bet I'd go for it.
You don't even know what he's going to do.
We don't know what anyone else is going to do.
I
They're
know
not.
what they're advocating for.
Tell me.
Well, no, I'm asking you about Trump right now.
The ball dodged. Okay.
No, listen. I'll give you one more chance to tell me what Trump's doing, and then I'll list off a bunch of things that Joe Biden is proposing and that Democrats are proposing, and reasons why I'm voting for Democrats. I will.
All right,
I
let
will
me
cite
pick
specific
one thing.
policies.
Let me pick one thing about Biden. The infrastructure.
No, be quiet. No, be quiet. You don't get to dodge this. You have to tell me one specific thing because again, remember, here's what I think about Republicans. I think you're all just whiners. I think you're all complainers and you don't know what's going on in this country. You have no solutions to fix it. You just want to complain about Democrats. That's all you want to do and it's all you know. So again, I'm going to ask you one more time to say specifically something that Donald Trump is going to do to make our economy better.
I believe being the businessman he is.
Nope, that's not a specific thing. Try again. Try
That
again.
is
No,
specific.
try again. He's a terrible businessman.
country
His
like
business,
business
his entire business plan is being a fraud. That's why he's in court today. That's why his former attorney today is testifying against him. He is not a good businessman. He's a horrific businessman. But even then, what I asked you for is something specific that he would do.
That would have been it right there. That's my
That's
selling
not a
point.
specific thing. That's just something that you think about him that you're actually wrong about.
One thing.
One thing.
He hasn't truly said anything straight direct.
Well, that's where you're wrong again, dude, because he has like 50 things listed on his website of specifically what he's going to do, and you don't know.
I haven't
do.
went.
I could tell you what he's going to do. He's going to try and instill fascism.
What happened? Come here. Come on, man. I'm in a fucking live. My baby just bumped her head.
I'm sorry. Well, go be a parent. Don't curse at your kid in front of me. Go take care of your kid. Don't worry about arguing something you don't know about. Go be a dad. All right. Dark Passenger.
Hey, RTP.
Hey, how are you?
Good. I'm not opposition. I just wanted to make a quick point that I thought of. While they were talking, that
You're good.
like how there's the crisis at the border, right? And how that happened, it started becoming an issue under Trump, right? What about the Make America Great Again rhetoric? like that could have influenced more people from the South America to come up here. You know, like that's something like I've never heard anybody talk about. How he kept saying like, "Oh, I'm going to make it so great."
Oh,
I'm not
so
saying that
because
that's like directly tied.
You're saying
I'm
like
just
they
saying,
heard
like,
they were
you
going to
know.
make it great, so that's why they showed up.
Right. You know, like it's.
I mean,
you guys wanted it to be great, and then all of a sudden, like, he's president, and then, you know, there's just a thought.
I probably wouldn't rule it out completely, but I think it has a lot more to do with the instability south.
Yeah, definitely. It's definitely the destabilization that we've done to them since like the 40s, but, you know.
All right. Yeah, I don't
but
know.
Also, keep doing you.
Appreciate it, man. Thank you very much.
I'll drop down.
All right, brother. We'll see it. Thank you. In the box now. I guess, I swear to God, Fang is not opposition, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm just like remembering wrong. Guys, please, I don't want to be rude, but please, if you're not opposition, please don't be in the box today. I at some point we will do one of these panels, but please, for the love of God. I appreciate it, but try and keep this moving. All right, no Fang. All right. Air Force One TTV. Welcome. If you keep voting Democrat, you'll end up like Canada. Sure. What's up?
Hey, what's up, man?
How are you?
Not much. So I was just gonna ask you, like,
You're breaking up, brother.
really,
I can't hear what you're saying. What are you saying?
you're not.
Not really,
I was
brother. Are
like,
you driving?
They vote blue, but who for? Yeah, I know.
Well, it depends on where you live.
Are you talking about for president?
I mean, there's going to be a lot of opportunities to vote blue on your ballot. Where do you live at?
I live in South Carolina, but I'm talking about just presidential candidate. Like,
Yeah, I mean,
you
I would
gonna
definitely vote for
Biden
Joe.
or
Oh, of course.
Joe Biden?
Yeah, especially over Donald Trump specifically. I would vote for a sock over Donald Trump because a sock doesn't want to be fascist.
Well, I think that's part of the problem. Like, it's not about voting in. For you, it's not about voting in a good candidate. For you, it's just
Yes, it is.
anything over Trump.
Well, that was true in
You think
2016.
Joe Biden's a good candidate?
Yes, I do.
We're literally on the brink of war.
Who are we on the brink? Wait, who are we on the brink? Who are we on the brink of war with?
Multiple countries, actually.
What country are we on the brink of war with?
I can't necessarily say, but
Yeah, of course you can't.
I
Of
know
course,
for
because
a
we're
fact.
not. No, because we're not on the brink
No.
of war with anybody. What are you talking about?
oh, we are
Who?
on the brink of war.
With
Three
who?
different countries.
What three countries? Which
I can't
three?
say. I cannot say.
You
the
can't
three
say
countries.
it's a secret. It's a secret.
Yes, it's classified.
So you have classified information that none of us have. Is that what you're saying?
Yes. I don't know why that's hard to believe.
It's hard to believe because
anyway,
you're full of
I'm just
shit
saying,
mostly. That's why. Who's going to go to war with the United
Okay.
States? Who's going to go to war with us?
I honestly can't answer the question, but I will.
Yeah, I know you can't. But and if you're being like, I think you're being dishonest. That's why.
I'm not being dishonest.
Okay, so are you in the Air Force?
I am.
You're in the Air Force. Okay, and what's your rank?
Staff sergeant.
Staff sergeant. I'm saying, and so you're getting classified, top secret classified documents about three countries that we're on the brink of war with.
Yeah, I ordered security.
Okay, and those three countries, the reason they're going to war with us is because of Joe Biden. Is that right?
Not because of Joe Biden, but we are weak right now.
Oh, because we're weak.
Yeah.
Why are we weak?
Well, because under the Biden administration, the military has been demilitarized. The funding is.
What do you mean by demilitarized?
Like funding is not there. The economy is.
The funding is there. They've approved They've approved all the military spending.
There was way more spending for the military under the Trump administration than there is under the Biden.
Are you 100% sure on that?
I am.
Okay. If I pull this up and the numbers are wrong.
Go for it.
Okay. So the final year of the Trump campaign, or the Trump era, the military funding was $778.4 billion. Do you know what it was in 2021?
I don't.
It was 800 billion.
Look it up as well.
800 billion.
All right.
Yeah.
That was 2021.
21.
I'd be interested to see like what it was for the 4 years and then the 4 years.
It literally goes up. It literally goes up every year, dude. And Trump ran on this idea that funding was being cut, which also wasn't true. Defense budget for the defense budget request from Biden's request. This is how it works, right? Biden will request funding, and then it goes to Congress, and they get to add whatever they want to it or whatever they agree on. Biden in 2021 requested $741 billion and $753 billion in 2022. So he actually increased. He requested a $12 billion increase.
Well,
and then the committee, and then the Senate Armed Services Committee added an additional $25 billion on that. So $778 billion.
Gotcha. Well, another thing is
wait, but you have all this class, like the military's in shambles, right? We're not funding them, right?
I don't know about the entire military per se, but I do know that the conditions were way better under Trump.
Why?
In my personal experience.
Yeah, but why? Why were they better?
Well, aircraft parts, for example, there was a lot more production in the U.S. All U.S. parts or all military parts have to be built in the U.S. and there was much more production. It's a lot harder to get those things and to source those things now.
Why?
That production moved out of the country.
Why? Why is it harder to get things that are manufactured, do you think?
Well, because manufacturing is starting to move into the country.
COVID. Do you remember COVID?
Yeah, I do, but I also remember Trump
did that shut down manufacturing? By the way, what's your MLS?
Huh?
What's your MLS? Come on, man.
Oh, I work on airplanes. I work on F-16s. So.
What's MOS mean?
Do what?
What's MOS mean?
2 Alpha 654.
Thank you.
Hey, how's it going?
And the military's struggling. We're not getting more funding, even though we're getting more funding.
Well, military's struggling a lot more. Like I said, in my personal experience, I can't speak for the entire military.
I don't really care. I don't care that much about your personal experience because what you said is that the military. Well, you said the military is weak and that we're going to war with there's 3 different countries we're on the brink of war with, and you claimed that you had classified information that tells you that.
Yeah, well, I have. They do intel briefs. Usually once a month or once every couple of months. But that's not really
It's not a real thing. It's not a real thing. It's just something that you thought you could come on here and say.
Oh no, not at all.
I do feel to all the servicemen and women, I do feel like you probably owe them an apology for coming on here and misrepresenting not only the funding, but your top secret intelligence and your attacks on the military in general, and you're doing so in a political way. And last I checked, like, you guys are supposed to be pretty careful about your political opinions. You're supposed to be pretty careful about that. I just wonder, like, why you think it's okay to come on here and spread I'm just wondering why you think it's okay to come on here and spread misinformation about the military.
Well, first of all, who's making it misinformation?
You, because you said something that wasn't true, and then I fact checked it, and it wasn't true.
If you look at the dollar bill, man, like you said, the funding goes up every year, but the economy is in shambles. So
you said the funding went down.
Money,
you said we cut. You said we cut funding.
The funding is less.
I understand what you just said. I understand what you just said there. You said we cut funding.
Okay.
Yeah. So do you want to apologize to all your military friends for coming on here and spreading misinformation, or what's your plan?
I'm not spreading misinformation.
Okay.
Anyways,
gotcha.
I want to see why. Like you want to know. Like you was asking the guy before me, like what's one thing that Trump can do, or that he promises to do.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the things that he promised to do was like he can promise that there won't be a world war.
How?
He'd keep us out.
How?
By being a strong leader, dude. Our leader right now.
What do you mean a strong leader? What does that mean?
A leader that they respect other countries. We're the laughing stock right now because
no, that's nonsense. Other countries respect us. Other countries respect Joe Biden much more than they respected Donald Trump. Donald Trump was not respected around the world. In fact, one of the great things about Joe Biden is because of his ability as a diplomat and because of the way that he delegates and he's hired good people around him, that faith in America by many of our allies has been restored.
The guy can't even complete a sentence barely. Like he is.
Dude, your guy said that in South Carolina, 3 wells wash up a week because of windmills. I don't want to hear anything about that. He literally poops his pants regularly. Like he wears a diaper. He says he doesn't make any sense. Like if you really think Donald Trump, do you want me to read it? I'll pick one. I'll read the transcript from his last campaign stop, and you can tell me if it makes sense. How about that?
Sure.
Like, dude, everything you're saying is just like everything you're saying is literally just like propaganda, and it's just stuff that doesn't mean anything.
Bro, like, dude, we were feared and reverenced under Trump, and we are not right now.
Says
I'm
who?
telling you.
How are you measuring that?
Just from personal, like, I can look at the facts and see.
What facts? What facts are you looking at?
The facts that our president can't even complete a sentence.
He completes sentences all the time. He's actually really articulate, but the problem is that you, the problem is all you do is see clips because you don't know what he actually says. You take clips from
He won't even debate Trump.
Trump is literally, dude. What the fuck? Trump is actually skipping debates, and Trump said he won't debate Joe Biden. Joe Biden said he will gladly debate Donald Trump. You are out. Where was Donald Trump the first 2 debates? Where was Donald Trump the first 2 debates? Where was Donald Trump the first 2 debates?
Dude, that was a Republican candidate debate.
Where was he? I said.
Bro, why would he need to?
Where was he?
I don't know where exactly he was.
Exactly, he wasn't there. Now, tell me another time. Tell me one other time. Tell me one other time now. Tell me one other time that the leading candidate who was not the sitting president skipped a debate.
The strongest president we ever had, Donald Trump.
Tell me another time. Dude, what are you doing? Are you in love with him? Bro, the way you talk about him. There's no measure by which Donald Trump was the best president we've ever had. You're in a cult, dog.
Nah, bro, nah.
Nah, bro, nah. You just said he was the greatest president. You just said he's the greatest president we've ever had. You ever heard of Abraham Lincoln?
Yeah.
But Trump was better than Abraham Lincoln?
He's a better president I've ever had.
He's a better... Okay. But why? What did he do? If you can give me stats on what he actually did and not just your personal feelings, I'll be blown away.
Well, I will say our economy was in the best shape.
No, so you can't give me facts. Got it.
I mean, I could look them up.
Yeah, what would you want to look at?
Top of my head.
No, dude, you don't know anything. This is crazy. Like, this is the problem. This is why I say MAGA is over. Because it doesn't matter. I can tell you things without my computer. I can tell you specific things without a computer. But what you have done is you've bought into this team culture where you think that you're right and you're not going to do any research, and the people around you probably think that you're right too, and you sit around and you tell each other how great Trump is, and you laugh at videos of Joe Biden, and you think because of that you're educated on these topics, but you're not. You are a remarkably low information. You're in the military. You're claiming that the military budget was cut, and it wasn't cut. Everything you've said so far, you've been wrong about.
Well, like I said, I only know what I know, but
No.
That's what I know.
No, you don't know anything. You're just saying things that you feel. When you said I only know what I know after I responded about things that you didn't know, you're not saying what you know. You're saying what you feel. And that's the scary thing about MAGA, dude. This is why I don't like MAGA, is because you guys are the most easily manipulated group of people I've ever seen. You will repeat lie after lie after lie, and when confronted with the truth, you will close your eyes and say, no, I don't want to see that. Dude, no, dude, I'm not. Dude, I was a Republican until 2015. Then I was a Libertarian. I didn't vote for Joe Biden in the primaries. He was far from my favorite candidate. I would actually prefer somebody in the DNC besides Joe Biden, but unfortunately, we ran up against Mary. And by the way, one of the reasons that I have a bunch of followers is because I spoke with the Democrat candidate, and I was really, really hard on them. I asked a very difficult question. I asked tough questions, and I know the answers to the things that, like the questions that I'm asking beforehand. I do my research. I fact check. I do this every single day. Don't accuse me of being you. I don't say things that I don't know. I don't just make things up and hope nobody fact checks me.
Sounds good, bro. I gotta go into work. It was good talking to you.
Good.
Go
make sure to go tell everybody at work that you were wrong about their funding being cut.
No, because our funding was cut.
Well, is that Joe Biden's fault?
I mean, he is the sitting president.
Is that Joe Biden's fault?
I don't know.
No, of course you don't know. I appreciate you being honest this time. Last quote from Donald Trump. There has only been, listen to this, one such whale killed off the coast of South Carolina in the last 50 years. But on the other hand, their windmills are causing whales to die in numbers never seen before. Nobody does anything about that. They're washing up on shore. I saw it this weekend. I saw 3 whales come up. Yeah, he ran. Keep telling me Joe Biden's crazy. You wouldn't see it once a year. Now they're coming up on a weekly basis. The windmills are driving them crazy. They're driving the whales, I think, a little batty. There you go. That's your guy. The people of Wales. The people of Wales. Guys, oh my God. The box is completely full of... Listen! God, I don't want to say this again. Guys, please, listen, please. Let the box be opposition. I know it's frustrating to hear from people. I know. But please, when I open the box and it's just all like, friends, I promise I will do a live where we can have an open panel, open discussion. I promise. Please help me out on this. Actually, we actually have the audio here. Let's see if I can play it. I think I have the whole audio here. All right. It's going to go.
Of Crooked Joe's extreme regulatory attacks, the Biden administration is right now trying to bludgeon the boating and maritime industry. We were just discussing it with a lot of boat companies back there that create a lot of jobs and having a hard time. With a boat speed limit of less than 11 miles an hour, about 10 miles an hour. In other words, like a slow golf cart. It's like think of it, along the entire eastern part of our country. This is supposedly in the name of preventing whale strikes. But you have a better chance of being struck by lightning than hitting a whale with your boat. There has only been, listen to this, one such whale killed off the coast of South Carolina in the last 50 years. But on the other hand, their windmills are causing whales to die in numbers never seen before. Nobody does anything about that. They're washing up ashore. I saw it this weekend. 3 of them came up. You wouldn't see it once a year. Now they're coming up on a weekly basis. The windmills are driving them crazy. They're driving the whales, I think, a little batty, and they're washing up on shore at levels never seen before, and they want to stop your boats 1 in 50 years. Can you imagine that? The Biden speed limit will demolish the charter fishing business, crush boat manufacturers, and desecrate your cherished low country traditions. It's going to desecrate those traditions.
I like when Donald Trump, when the times he's reading from a teleprompter, and it's always like he's reading it for the first time, and he'll hear one that he likes. He's like, it's going to desecrate your traditions. Desecrate your traditions. That was a speech that was written. It was a real thing. The Trump team got together, and they're like, hey, make sure you lie about seeing 3 whales wash up this week from the windmills. Make sure you talk about that. The Biden administration, they're attacking your boat speed limits. How dare they? How dare they attack the speed limit on your boats? I'm pretty sure all this is there was a study done about the noise with whales, and that was in a migratory migratory path. And I may be wrong about this, but I'm pretty sure that's what I read. And so, because of the noise emitted from the boats in that area, there was a speed limit, and Donald Trump is very, very upset about that. Look, I had some people want to come up and talk about stolen valor. Did we choose one? I said I would allow. Let's see. Oh, whoops, I didn't send it. So I'm gonna allow one of these folks to come up and talk about stolen valor. Anthony, good to go. Please, everybody else outside of Miss Julie, can you go after 12? Sorry, I may not have responded to that. Everybody else, if you could drop out if you're not opposition. Anthony, welcome.
Jay, how you doing, man?
Wonderful. You got to stop getting Whisper banned. What's going on?
Hey, listen, I will say I'm hitting 500. I'm 2 for 2.
That's not 500. That's 1,000.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was sarcasm. Hey.
Okay, good. I was like, man, you're smart. You're like a math guy. How'd you miss that one?
Yeah. I've been known to be smart, a smart ass. And I even promised to be on my best behavior, and he still got banned. So it couldn't have been me. I think I only dropped 1 F-bomb the whole time. So
that's not bad. That's pretty good for you. That is pretty. Yeah, fair enough.
I am a salty sailor. So we do have potty mouths. So listen, here's the thing about stolen valor that one irritates me. But I will preface with the following caveat. My veteran status is not my personality. But I believe that there are certain things that are incredibly sacred in this universe, and honor, duty, and service is one of those things. And I was just literally talking to a guy who was in E8 and the Air Force that is stationed local to me here in LA. He's the first shirt. And that's a way of describing the administrative first sergeant for the base. So he works on behalf of the airmen. He's kind of like the counselor, if you will, for airmen that are having performance issues and things of that nature, right? He's kind of the bulwark that supports the officer corps.
Gotcha.
So a guy who's
and by performance issues, I assume you mean like in their job, not at home.
No, it could be anything. It could
be ED.
It could be ED. Well, we don't talk about what happens in someone's bedroom stays in their bedroom. I don't want to get you banned, but they are there as a career coach, not only for performances inside and outside of the Air Force, different things that people can do, help them with educational decisionings, help them, get services that they need. It's a very important role on the administrative side. And a lot of people don't know about this, but in the military, there are people put in place to help service members.
Okay.
And because they're senior enlisted people, they've had the advantage of 20 plus years in service to get there, and so this is what they do. The first thing to challenge somebody on, especially with not only veterans like myself listening, but others I'm sure too, is where are they stationed and who's their senior NCO? Because as an E5, you're like middle management, right? You're not
Right.
in the E4 mafia, but you've graduated past the E4 mafia, and now you're in a position where you probably lead a small group of people, right? So we ask where are they stationed, how long they've been in, and who's a senior NCO, so that we could verify this. Now, if a guy's been in for 10 years and he's an E5, he must be on his way out, because that is to have been in the military that long and only achieved E5 status means two things. One, you're constantly getting busted down in rank, so you've made E5 3 or 4 times. Or you're just so horrible at your job that you can't pass a board, meaning you can't be advanced, right? It was very obvious to me that this guy probably watches the History Channel more than he's actually served in the military, because he could say things that on the fringe sounded legitimate. But I will tell you, from a military bearing perspective, all of the red flags were showing up.
Well, so here's what it was for me, because I don't know any of this shit, but I do know this, that regularly, especially this guy, I asked a lot of questions, he answered them. When he didn't know, he made something up. When I asked him specifically for MOS and his rank, he repeated my question. He didn't do that with anything else. It's like it's a sign that's like, oh, I gotta think of this. And you could hear his MOS, and then he didn't say anything for a while. I moved on, and then I don't remember what he said. But he said something like later on. I don't know what any of that shit means. So the only reason I asked that question is because of the Discord. So that was for me the red flag. It's like he didn't have that off the top of his head. Every time I've heard anybody ask those questions, they answer it quickly.
Yeah. And look, somebody chirped about E5 in the Air Force. I'm making general statements. It is very true that somebody in a particular MOS could be stuck at E5 because there's so many people in the E6 billet ahead of them, they'll never make E6. That's true. But this guy was trying to make it sound like he somehow had access to need to know information. And for a guy that works on fuel systems, I'm sorry, I was in a special boat unit for 8 years. And so I know all about compartmentalizing top secret and secret information. And a guy that does bladder work on an F-15 or an F-16 fuel system is not in that fucking room. And I don't want to hear it from anybody, because that's absolute bullshit. They don't have a need to know.
If there was intel that said that there were 3 countries who we were on the brink of war with, like, what level do you think? What level would you have to be, or where would you have to be in the military? I guess how low would that information have gotten? Would it have stayed in the like with the generals? How far down would that information have gotten?
It would be within the Joint Chiefs of Staff. Those members within that level that had a need to know. It would never be disseminated below that, because there are all sorts of intelligence items that are constantly being worked, right, from an academic level. So when you hear generals talk about why it's so important to read and why it's so important to understand geopolitics, literature, and things of that nature, because a lot of the people that work on this stuff are really, at the end of the day, academics within the military. And they are language specialists, and they are geopolitical specialists. And that's how they get these jobs within the Joint Chiefs of Staff. And so, they're kind of like the top of the class, right? So like the top 1% of academies, the top 1% of the officer pool. And within them, you're going to have enlisted ranks, especially within the cryptography areas. You're going to have those folks. You're going to have the folks who went to the Monterey language school. So those folks will be there too.
Okay.
But generally speaking, that stuff is like so nosebleed. There's no fucking E5 on the planet that's ever going to know that. It's just not going to happen. And a guy that works on fuel system, probably a pretty complicated job. You probably have to be pretty good at math to understand, certain types of diagrams. But no one's coming to you to disseminate information about who we're almost at war with, right?
Okay.
I mean, You know, and a lot of that stuff, if you follow, a lot of that stuff comes via requests from the White House. They want to know these things, right? So they'll commission studies to happen and they'll ask for information. And so when you read books about presidents, that's when you can find out what their areas of study was. And when things become declassified, that stuff shows up. So, you know, anyway, long story short, the shit just pisses me off because too many of these jackasses get up here, and then all they want to do is yammer away about stuff that is completely false, not in keeping with military tradition, not in keeping with military bearing, and in no way proudly representing the uniform you wear, right?
Yeah.
Politics aside, you're not supposed to be opening your mouth about shit like this one way or the other.
Yeah, so I have a cousin who he was at West Point. I don't know where he's even stationed right now, but he's a pilot. He flies Blackhawks, and I've talked to him multiple times to get his opinion, just like on geopolitical things. And even he and I, speaking one-on-one, not on the phone, in person, even then, he is extremely careful about, number one, what he shares, but number two, like, not taking a political stance at all. And I've found that with anybody I've ever spoken to who is highly ranked in the military, they are careful. They take that seriously. They take General Milley, I thought, was great at that, of just saying, like, we are not supposed to be political. He's reiterated that many times. So anytime I have somebody come on that's overtly political and they claim that they are in the military, high up in the military, that's the first red flag for me every time.
Yeah, and I know people want me to shut up, so I'll go because I can see in the comments.
Hey, but we need to have a conversation about this offline. I do need to pick your brain. I actually want to talk more about this, but might be right.
First of all, hurry up and come to fucking LA so I can make you dinner and make all the ladies jealous that you and I had dinner together.
There we go.
So.
All right, I'll do it. I'll come down. We'll do. How about this? Let's do a LA meetup with everybody, and we'll plan it in the Discord. You set it up. I'll be there.
Okay, sounds good.
All right,
appreciate you.
Okay,
Bye,
thank you.
brother.
We'll see you.
Peace.
Thank you. Yeah, look, not something I'm well versed on. I should be more well versed on that, especially considering the fact that we'll bring up people that are former military or current military. I think Jamal was waiting. I talked to Jamal. Maybe Jimmy was waiting the longest. Jimmy, welcome.
Deep experience when it comes.
Hey, Jimmy.
And so again, they're temporarily with their military expertise.
Hey, Jimmy, I got to mute you just because of the background noise. You can unmute when you want to. I don't know if you heard me come up. I'm just careful about stuff playing in the background. Jimmy, I'll invite you to unmute if you'd like, and then I'll give you like 10 more seconds. All right. You there?
Yeah. You hear me?
Hey, Jimmy. Yeah.
All right.
All right.
So, let me go outside.
All right. Sounds like you're wearing like stirrups or something with there's a lot of noise going outside.
No, I had a bell on my door. That's
okay.
Potty trained my dog.
What's up, my friend?
No, I do agree with the other guy about that guy trying to act like he knows a lot of stuff, like classified information, though. That was kind of funny because, for one, that guy couldn't debate. Two, that guy, if he's a fueler, he doesn't have that kind of clearance, so his OPSEC is pretty limited anyways. So, but I was actually in Afghanistan for 10 months. I was a senior interrogator over there. I've interrogated over 150 Taliban. I had information to all kinds of shit. I didn't even eat in our dining facility because I was constantly getting intel that they were going to poison the food or they were going to suicide bomb it. I actually interrogated 2 of our dining facility workers that were locals, and they ended up getting sent off to somewhere else. But I just don't understand the hang up on Biden so much. You say you're a libertarian, but you aren't opening your eyes to actually what is going on right now. The Afghanistan debacle alone, that pullout was so disastrous. I don't know how anybody could support him after that. It's that.
Well, I would just say that with that pullout, if I'm not going to support Biden, if I'm going to be critical of Biden and say like I can't support you because of that pullout, I also can't support Trump. It was his plan.
It was his plan, but it wasn't that plan. It wasn't the way it was executed.
That's not what the military leaders say, though.
That was
I mean,
not.
did you see Trump's plan?
Millie is under. For one, Millie is under Biden. Millie wasn't under Trump.
Yes, he was under Trump.
I mean, not Millie. What's his name? What's his name? I can't even remember his damn name. Not Millie. Millie's under Trump. Whatever. This other
Millie was under Trump and Biden.
Millie wasn't under Biden.
Yeah, he was. He just retired like a couple weeks
ago.
ago. He was under both of them.
No, that was all right. No, I look fucking stupid because that's not true. It wasn't.
You don't think Millie just retired like a month or two ago? Maybe less than that.
Trump had.
Whoops. Sorry, someone just autoplayed there. Are you talking about McKenzie?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes, that's who he had. But I know. Let's be honest about this whole pullout, though. For real, that's not the way.
Well, let's start with this. Let's start with this. You didn't read the plan, and I didn't read the plan of Trump's. Correct?
Anybody with comment Biden?
No. I'm just saying. Let's lay the groundwork of where we both are, and then I'm happy to let you share your opinion. But you didn't read the plan, and I didn't read the plan, right?
At the end of the day,
no. Can we lay the groundwork first, Jimmy? Can we lay the groundwork first? And then, like I said, I promise I'm going to let you share your opinion. But you didn't read the plan, and I didn't, right?
Who was in the room? Who made that plan?
Oh my God, dude!
How do you think that plan was made?
My God, dude! You can't answer this question.
Do you think that it was Trump's administration?
Dude, we're laying the ground. Listen, we're laying the ground. Hold on. I'm just laying the groundwork on what you and I know for sure, and then we can talk about our opinions. But let's get the facts right first, and then we can debate from there. Is that fair?
We both know that.
Oh my God, dude! Oh my fucking Jimmy! This is not an unfair. Jimmy, this is not an unfair request. This is not an. I'm not telling you anything. I'm trying to find where we have a difference. So let's lay the groundwork on the facts first, and then we'll find our difference. That's all I'm saying, Jimmy. Are you good with that?
Go ahead.
Okay, so you didn't read the plan. I didn't read the plan, right? Neither one of us were privy to the plan, either Biden's or Trump's, right?
Right.
Okay. Now, did Trump set a timeline of when he wanted to withdraw?
A timeline, not the plan.
Did he publicly announce a date he wanted to withdraw?
Yes.
Okay. Not a plan. And then did he change that date?
Yes.
No. Yeah. So it was before Christmas. It was before Christmas, and then it was before the end of the year. Those were the timelines he left, and then he was out trying to steal an election for a while, and then he left office, and then
steal an election. There's more evidence of this election being stolen.
Jimmy, we can get to that in a minute. We can get to that in a minute, Jimmy. And then Biden took off. No, we're just laying out the facts right now first. That's all we're doing. There should be no arguing here. We're laying out the facts first. I apologize. I shouldn't have said stolen election. We can disagree on that. Then Biden came into office, and then he pushed the date back even further, correct? Okay. So, any sort of criticism, if I'm going to be intellectually honest, and I'm going to criticize Biden, and there is no evidence that Donald Trump would have done anything differently because he put the wheels in motion, he announced this withdrawal over Twitter, and he put this plan in motion. There's nothing I can go on that would tell me Trump would have done it better. The only reason anybody would say Trump can do it better is because they like Trump more. If you're being intellectually honest, you don't know if he would have done a better job. But it was his plan.
I think it was a very, very unorganized administration that came up with a plan. If you look at the plan, you chose one small air base, one tiny air base,
Trump came up with
to
a plan.
evacuate an entire country, and you tried to get everybody to get to that base.
Yeah, that was Trump's
plan.
plan.
You cut a deal with the Taliban
Trump's
to
plan.
allow them to create security around it. That was the most asinine thing. Why would there not two? Why not
plan.
Salerno? Why not Bagram? Why not Jalalabad?
Well, ask
Three
both of them.
bigger air bases.
Jimmy,
Three
Jimmy,
bigger
why,
air bases.
Jimmy? Why are you
wasn't the
not
plan
asking
from Trump.
again, Jimmy?
That
Again,
wasn't the
Jimmy.
plan from Trump. He
You
just
don't
gave a
know,
date.
Jimmy. You already admitted you don't know what Trump's plan
You
was.
just said you didn't know.
No, I said I didn't read it. All I can go by is what the military said, which was that there was a plan put in place and that they followed that plan and that they moved the dates back. That's all they can say. But by the way, Jimmy, could that withdrawal have gone much better? Sure. Is it a big deal? Absolutely
Way
fucking
better.
not. It's not a big deal.
Why would we not use Bagram?
No, why is it a big deal, Jimmy? Explain, Jimmy. Shush, Jimmy. Why is it a big deal?
Why?
Jimmy, you don't know why we didn't use Bagram. Neither one of us can answer that question, and you don't know if Trump would have used Bagram. You're just trying to, because this is what Republicans do. All you do is complain about things.
I'm a libertarian.
Yeah, no, it is. You have no idea what the plan was. You have no idea if this is Trump's plan, but you know that it happened under Biden, and you're going to use this against Biden, but not against Trump. And
Because
it's silly.
our country's
It's silly,
the worst
and you
it's
should
ever
be.
been in the
It's
history.
the
of
worst
our
it's
nation.
ever been.
Okay,
We
nobody
had
can even
slavery
afford
in this
groceries.
country. Remember
you know,
slavery?
You can get on a firm now.
Remember
You
the
can
remember
affirm-
the civil remember
you
the
can
Civil
affirm
War?
Groceries. That's how bad it is right now.
Jimmy, are you saying expensive groceries is worse than a civil war? Than slavery?
Sorry, wow. We weren't even really that much of a country then. Or you're going to go all the way back to slavery? Let's talk about modern times. all
Okay,
right? Let's
Jimmy,
talk about
you said, hey, Jimmy.
Women didn't even have
Jimmy,
the right to vote.
Jimmy,
There's
Jimmy,
nothing like
Jimmy, God damn it, dude. Shut up.
Let me guess.
No,
Free
shut
Palestine
up.
rights.
You said, Jimmy, these were your words. It's the worst our country has ever been. That's what you said, Jimmy. I know maybe you can't remember your words, but that's what you said. And then I responded to that, and you're
See,
like,
you're
oh, you're going to go
twisting
back
things.
to the
You
history
know
of our
what I
country?
mean when I say
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, that's exactly
you know
where I'm
what
going.
I mean when I say that. In the past
Well, what
3
did you mean then?
generations,
I'll let you clarify. What did you mean?
This is the worst it's ever been.
What do you mean by that then?
In modern times,
What
obviously.
do you
And
mean by
do you think
that?
things are going-
Jimmy,
you think
what
things are going
parts?
uphill because
No,
our-
Jimmy.
I'm trying to tell
what
you.
parts? What
Oh my
right
God, dude.
now makes it worse than any other time in your life?
Crime is worse than it's ever been.
Incorrect.
Border crisis
Crime is
out of control.
incorrect.
Just the
Crime
other
is
day,
much
would you
lower
let
than
me fucking talk?
crime is
Would you
much
let me
lower than it
fucking
was
talk?
in the
Would
1990s,
you-
Jimmy.
No, the fuck it's
Much
not. Crime is
lower.
way
You want-
higher. Go
Jimmy,
to the
I will
FBI
bet.
website and look it up.
Okay, want to
Crime
look at
is
crime
worse
statistics?
than
What
it's
what
ever
what type of
been.
crime are we looking at, Jimmy? I'll pull it up right now. You want to talk about violent crime?
For one, how
What
about
kind of
look
crime?
at theft? Look at the fact that big box companies are shutting down left and right, which has never happened in the history of our country. You got Walgreens going down left and right. Walmart CEO last year, or actually earlier this year,
Jimmy,
said
none of these are
that
statistics.
keeps
Shut up.
trending.
Jimmy, shut up. Jimmy, shut up.
And look,
Jimmy,
look
shut
at,
up.
Look at Walmart CEO.
Jimmy,
See, I
Jimmy,
can't even talk. This
Jimmy,
guy won't even
yeah,
let me
shut
talk.
up for a second
This is
because
what
we're
you
talking.
do. This is
Jimmy,
what you do because whenever
yeah,
I
it
actually
is what
have
I do.
facts,
Jimmy,
you just tell
Jimmy,
people
shut
to
up.
Shut up.
Jimmy,
You just
shushies.
tell people to shut up.
Shushies, Jimmy.
You
Yeah,
have
'cause
you have no
Jimmy,
facts and no leg to stand on.
Jimmy,
You know, Border
Jimmy,
Patrol wrapped up
Jesus Christ,
120
this is crazy. Sorry, dude. You asked me to look up crime statistics. I'm pulling up crime statistics, and you are talking about stories. That's why you need to shut up. Now, if we look at this, you can unmute yourself whenever you'd like to. In 1991, if we are looking at the crime rate, and this is let me see what's all in this. Okay, so the crime rate in 1990 was 9.82. It is now 6.81. It's the highest it's been since 97, and that was as of 2021. It's actually dropped since then. What's the crime rate in 2023? I guess 2022. Shoot, stop asking me for my location. Let me pull this up. Where's this data pulled from? Oh my goodness. Oh, you wanted FBI. FBI crime statistics. If anybody in the Discord has it, I'd be happy to. If you want to speed this up for me. All right. God damn it. FBI's website sucks. All right. Somebody have it? FBI's website is horrendous. I'm going to have to like sort this on a table. All right. There's the rate. Get the total rate. You wanted to look at, Jimmy, which rate did you want to look at? You wanted to look at burglary? Is that right? Jimmy? Jimmy, you're muted, pal. Jimmy, what rate did you want to look at?
I don't know how I muted myself.
I muted you because you wouldn't be quiet. Because I was trying to pull up statistics. So larceny, burglary, what do you want to look at?
General theft.
Okay, larceny and theft. Okay, so
Theft
currently...
is and burglary are two different things.
Correct, that's why I said larceny and theft. Whoops, went the wrong way. So larceny and theft, we are at... we are lower than we were in 2000.
No, we're not. I'm gonna get on my computer.
No, just no.
So in 2000, you had groups of 50 kids running in.
These are
smashing
stories. Nobody gives a
buildings.
shit about your stories. Stop using anecdotal evidence and use data.
This is literally coming straight out of CEOs' mouths, and I get
yeah. This is called
whenever I get up there, I'm gonna get on.
yeah.
I
A story
guarantee you
from
I
a
get on
story
the
from a
I see the actual
CEO's
data.
a story from a CEO's mouth is
I guarantee
literally
you I get the actual
is
data.
literally
Everybody's just
anecdotal.
trusting
You're
what-
literally talking about anecdotal
Everybody's
evidence.
trusting what you. Why don't you screen share something? Everybody's just trusting.
I
what
can't
you're
screen.
saying.
I can't screen share my computer
Well, turn
from
your
my
camera
phone. You
around,
potato.
look at it.
No. Why don't you keep
Because
telling me
it's
some more
bullshit.
stories?
You're making up data.
Yeah, sure it is. Sure it is. That's the one thing I do is I share fake stats.
Well,
That's what I
it's
do.
pretty odd
Jimmy,
that corporate
this-
big
how
box
come-
businesses now are in threat of closing down.
Yeah,
Why
you
is
know
that?
what? And do you know why? Let's talk about that. Why? Where are they shutting down, Jimmy?
On the West Coast, in Democrat
No.
cities,
No.
people are leaving.
More
People are
specifically,
leaving
which
in
parts
droves.
of the cities are they shutting down in?
In blue cities, the big cities.
No, which
all up and down
parts?
California.
Which
Walgreens,
parts?
Walmart,
Which
Home Depots
parts?
are starting to shut down.
I swear to God, you can't hear. Which parts of the cities are they shutting down?
Which part of the city? That makes no sense. What
Well, it
part
does,
of
but
the
you don't know
city?
what the fuck you're talking about. It's the poor areas. For example, where I live, if I go into a CVS in certain neighborhoods, in the poorer neighborhoods, then you will see everything locked up. If you go to the CVS in my neighborhood, nothing is locked up. Why? Because when people struggle for money, generally crime goes up.
People aren't struggling for money to steal. People are struggling for money.
Nobody's
because
struggling for money?
People are struggling for money, but they're stealing because it's
Yeah.
a big organized retail crime gang,
Oh
and
my
they have
God.
they have.
Where's your
fences
and your
in
evidence of
between.
that is what?
I'm a district loss prevention manager, asshole.
I don't give it. Yeah, and your evidence for that is what? I didn't ask for your job title.
My
Your evidence for
I'm a
that is
district
what?
Loss prevention manager.
Doesn't matter. What's your evidence? I don't care about your experience.
Dude,
What's
I
your
literally do
evidence?
this shit for a living.
What is your okay? Well, if you do this for a living, then you must certainly you must have some sort of data.
You want me to give you all my data? Hold up. It's wild. Somebody actually does this shit for a living. You won't even believe them. That's what's wrong with you. You're
Jimmy,
gonna be
shut
right
the fuck
no
up
matter
and get
what.
your data. Nobody gives a
You're
shit
gonna be
about
right
your
no
crying.
matter what.
Just be quiet and get your data. Stop crying.
In March alone at my company.
And your company is what?
I'm not telling you my company.
Okay. Fair enough.
Whenever we relaxed the standards and got rid of security guards at the doors.
Okay.
In one store alone, it was $2,500 a month.
Well, why'd you relax security? Yes, did Joe Biden call you and say get rid of your security?
I'm not corporate. Corporate likes to cut money and
Yeah, that's not Joe Biden's fault. That's not Joe Biden's fault. What are you talking about?
What are you talking
We
about?
got rid of our security, and then things got worse.
We're not talking about Biden right there. I was just telling you that crime has gotten worse.
Yeah, but you just said that your own company just stepped aside. They're like, fuck it, just loot.
They didn't say that. It's just the
Okay.
policies written. They're pretty relaxed policies on loss prevention, which is pretty
All
annoying.
right, so
My
you're
hands
like
are tied.
CVS or Walgreens, I assume, one of those or something like that?
No, I'm a bigger box.
Bigger
But
box, okay. Walmart, something like that. Anyways, here's what we know. Here's some things that we do know for sure.
crime's gone up. Our theft has gone up 75%
Yeah.
since
And
they
the
realized that there were no security guards.
Correct. And the increase in crime, generally, if this is Walmart, because I've looked into the statistics of Walmart, CVS, and Walgreens. And here's what I found about all of them. Number one, that the increases in theft happen at the highest levels in poor areas. Number two, specifically CVS and Walgreens, the managers of those stores, they want to keep it as low staffed as possible because they're bonused off of that. They're bonused on profits. And so they basically have stepped aside. No, they got rid of their security guards, they got rid of their staff, and they
Everybody
wanted
bonus
to
off
they wanted to bonus off of staffing cuts, right? If they can have less people working, they're paying less hours, then they get bonused off that. You can look all this stuff up yourself if you would
You're
like to.
basically bonused off of sales.
What do you work? Do you work at CVS or Walgreens?
Everybody bonuses practically the same way. If you don't make money, you can't bonus.
Right,
It's bonus off sales.
Right, and if you have high overhead, that cuts into your profits, right?
Well, that's why they reduce hours.
Yeah, so that's why they
Not just
reduced overhead, they reduced security, they reduced employees. They essentially, in bad neighborhoods, took away everything and then said, like, oh, there's a bunch of people here who are struggling for money, and now we're shocked that people are stealing. Okay. Yeah,
There's
that's
a
what
huge
happens,
influx
dude.
in illegal
Every time,
aliens that are stealing too.
every
You wanna
time,
talk about the border?
every
You wanna talk
time,
about the border?
every time,
wanna talk about the border?
every time we have like a financial crisis in this country, every single era where times have gotten hard, you know what goes up? Theft.
You want to talk about border?
Every single time that we have a financial crisis, theft dramatically increases.
We've
Go
never
look at,
seen
you can
theft
go
the
look
way
at the
it is
numbers
right
from
now.
2008,
We've
2009.
never seen theft the way it
You-
is right now.
Well, I don't care what you've seen because your anecdotal evidence doesn't mean a goddamn thing when we're looking
Okay,
at things
anecdotal.
as a whole. So if you look at the reason when theft goes up, it's almost always because of economics. Almost
literally have
always.
fake
If
Facebook
it's not
accounts to help
economics,
take down
then what
these
is
truths.
it, Jimmy? Jimmy, if it's not economics, what is it?
It's democratic policies in the cities where they will not prosecute.
What policy? That's
I
what it is.
literally, I literally had one of my subordinates on the team. They
Guys, here's
apprehended-
another story
they
from Jimmy.
okay,
Jimmy
they
wants to tell
apprehended
some
this
more
team.
stories.
Okay, yeah, see,
Yeah.
for
It's
once,
a problem.
You shut the fuck up and listen.
No, I'm not. I don't care about your. How many times do I have to tell you? Bring data. I
Girl
don't
got
care about your
apprehended.
anecdotal
Girl got
stories.
apprehended. We apprehended her the week before.
Okay, so you're just
We
going to
kept
keep
asking her
telling
why-
your story?
Why she's not afraid to
You're
go
just
to
going to
jail.
keep telling your
She
stories
said,
instead of
"I'm just
bringing
gonna be
data.
out right
Now
now.
he's going to tell you guys a story, and this is why Republicans do this because
Blue
they
City.
don't have arguments, and so they
Blue
need you
City.
emotionally.
She gets out of jail
They need
immediately.
you
Why
emotionally
wouldn't she
to be
keep going
invested
and
in
stealing?
this. They need you emotionally invested in their narrative, and they can't prove it with any sort of data. So Jimmy here, despite being asked for data like a million times, is going to keep telling you stories. Go ahead, Jimmy. Give us that data. Go ahead, Jimmy. Waiting for your data.
Oh wait, you muted me again because you.
I did, because you wouldn't shut up. You went inside to get your data, and you're still telling stories. Did you
makes
get that data
$30,000
yet?
a day.
She didn't.
She
You didn't
does-
get that data yet. So I'm going to mute you again, Jimmy, and you can unmute when you have data. We don't allow propaganda on this program, Jimmy. And I know that that's what you Republicans like to do, but we're not going to do that, Jimmy. We're going to need some data. So I can unmute again. Hi, Jimmy. Did you get that data yet? Hi, Jimmy. Jimmy, you're muted. Jimmy's profile says he's accepting challenges. The challenge I'm giving to Jimmy is to provide data. Jimmy might still be talking. Jimmy, you're muted. I'm ready for this data. That was the challenge I'm issuing to you because you accept challenges. All right, Jimmy. Are you not going to unmute, dude? Is this really how this is going to go?
You the data.
Thank you.
between March and July, whenever our company relaxed those policies, and we saw how bad the crime has gotten, because once they figured out that those people weren't in place anymore, it went up 75%.
Yeah, we covered that already. You guys you cut down on your security, and crime went up.
So what about the border data? What's your data on the border?
Wait, but do you understand that like your company chose to put in lax security?
A lot of companies are.
I didn't ask what other companies are doing. I'm saying, Jimmy, do you understand that your data, which you still have given no data except for that went up 75%, and it coincided with your company, I was almost done with that. I was almost done with Jimmy. I was almost done with that sentence, and that coincided with your company dropping security.
So let me serious question.
Sure.
If Democrat prosecutors and judges and DAs weren't so relaxed, and it's a fact.
What city are you in, Jimmy?
The blue cities.
What city are you in?
That's not important.
Well, it is important because if you're going to talk about Jimmy, if you're going to talk about the policies, we need to know Jimmy. If we need to know what the rules are in those cities if we're going to believe anything that you say.
As in Seattle. I used to work in Seattle. That's the same shit.
Where was it when you had the 75% increase? Where was that?
I'm not going to pinpoint me. So
pinpoint you. It's a big city, Jimmy. If you live in a large city, we can't pinpoint you.
Either way, so I want you to answer my question.
I can't answer your question if I don't know where you live, Jimmy, because you're talking about policies by Democratic lawmakers, and I can't look up the policies of those Democratic lawmakers without knowing, Jimmy, where you live.
I'm not talking about the lawmakers. I'm talking about the ones who enforce the law.
Okay, but I don't know where you live, so I don't even know what the laws are, Jimmy.
That they're more relaxed. The reason people get out.
So you're in you're in Murphy. Are you in Murfreesboro, Tennessee? A red state?
Nashville.
Okay, so you're in Nashville. And what were the laws that were changed in Nashville? And you work at Costco.
I don't work at Costco. I don't know who the fuck said that. But people are just making assumptions of where I work. But
well, I mean, they figured out that you lived in Murfreesboro.
I think
you should have just been honest so people didn't have to
One of my videos.
Oh, Dick's. You work at Dick's.
No,
all right, so you work at Dick's in Nashville. Oh, okay, not at Dick's anymore.
I do not.
So what were the laws that were changed in Nashville?
I got a promotion. I got out of Dick's 2 months ago, actually.
Okay, so what were the laws that were changed in Nashville?
It's not the laws that are changed. It's the people who are enforcing the laws.
Okay,
It's the DAs. It's the judges.
DAs don't enforce laws. The police enforce laws.
They have input on it.
No, they don't. No, lawmakers make laws. Police enforce laws, and the DA prosecutes.
Yes.
So they have no input on the law. They have input. They have input on how
they're
people.
Soft on crime. It's all about prosecution.
So what changed? So what changed?
The people changed the law. It's not the law.
So you don't know, Jimmy. You just don't know.
I've been in court.
I'm asking for a specific change that happened, and you just keep saying. The police. It was the police first, then it was the DA.
You're acting like it was a.
So could you give me an example? Could you give me the DA's name so I could look up the DA and what they did differently?
There's a few of them. I would have to get in my phone contacts.
Feel free.
Hold on.
You must mean that Tennessee, that gall-darn red state with a supermajority in both houses. But these Democrats are really getting after. You guys notice? You notice that he talked.
Doesn't have control.
Yeah, you talked about blue states all over the place. It was blue, 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 and then son of a bitch, you're in a red state.
Nashville's a blue city.
I understand Nashville's a blue city, my friend, but the state legislature sets the laws, and that is red.
Look at where the crime rate is.
Okay, I know where the crime rates in every state
Memphis,
are in every state the crime is highest in the biggest cities.
In the blue cities.
Blue cities are usually the biggest cities. Yeah. You know why they're blue? Because you get around other people and you realize that being a Republican is very fucking stupid.
Antioch's not.
Yeah. So what was the DA's name and what did they change?
Funk. I didn't say they changed anything.
Oh, of course not.
See, you
Of course
keep cutting
not.
me off before I can even talk.
What was the
That's-
DA's
that's-
name?
That's how you do to make your
What
point.
was the DA's
But you
name?
don't-
Quit
you don't
crying.
really
Quit
have a
crying,
point.
Jimmy. Toughen up. What was the DA's name?
Funk.
Funk. And what did Funk do?
They don't prosecute. They won't prosecute on crime.
Okay. So
You got- I was
let
in
me
court.
tell you a story about what happened to me, Jimmy. I live in a very red county with a very red police chief with a very I'm in Maricopa County. You can look that up.
I know
We are
where
as,
Maricopa is.
and I'm in the East Valley, which is like one of the reddest places in America. Somebody broke into my car. They stole a bunch of shit out of my car. I solved the crime myself. I tracked them down. By the way, I got a job working. I got a job offer to run a whole division doing exactly what you do with no experience. By the way, it's a remarkably easy job. But I tracked down everything. I found out who stole
That's
it.
not what I do.
I found out who they. Well, that's not what you do. But see,
I reduce shrink.
I got a job offer because I was good at this. I tracked down all that stuff. I tracked down roughly $40,000 worth of equipment, and then I went to the police with the name of the person who stole it, with where he lived, with who he stole it from, or who he sold it to, with what he drove, and a picture of him. And they said, "Sorry, we don't have time for this." That's in a red state. You're talking about probably like a DA's job is to go after the crimes that, one, they can solve, and two, that have the most impact.
'Cause you
So
didn't do it
yeah,
correctly.
so
You
yeah,
gotta
it
just file
doesn't.
that
So
police
yeah,
report.
it doesn't make a lot of sense.
You filed that police
So,
report.
yeah, I did file a
Let
police
me
report.
guess. That person was from a different city and different.
No, that person lived about 2 blocks away from me. 0 for 1. Want to keep going, Jimmy?
You said you
telling me-
found out
yeah.
what city he lived in.
Yeah, because I didn't know what city he lived in because I
Okay.
didn't know who he
So
was.
You should have followed up with, because he made it sound like it was a different city.
Or you could just listen.
You didn't say.
No, I said, okay, keep
You
going,
said-
Jimmy. So I found out what city he lived in, and it was the same city as me. What else did I do wrong, Jimmy?
You just didn't say that. You made it assume. You made it sound like.
Well, you assumed that he didn't live in my city. That was on you.
Yeah, because you made it sound like I found out what city he lived in, and says then he lives in my city.
Okay, so
Either
you
way,
just wanted to
this is
make
such
an
a dumb-
excuse.
this
So
is a
you wanted
dumb
to make an
argument.
excuse for why the prosecutors didn't do anything here. And you want to call this red versus blue,
They're
but really
fucking
it's about
soft on crime.
really
It's
it's
known
about
fact.
but
Y'all
really
are
it's
soft.
about
Y'all
but
are
really
soft.
it's about impact and resources, right? It makes
Just
no
like your
sense. It
voters,
makes
you're
shush.
soft.
It makes no sense for a DA.
Soft.
It makes no sense for a DA to go after petty theft. It makes no sense. A DA is not going to go after petty theft. You're blaming a DA for doing something that every
Okay, since-
DA in
since
the
you have a
world would
story,
do.
can I give you a
Every D. No, I don't give a shit about your story. I'm telling my
Okay,
story
yeah,
right
that's what
now.
I thought.
Yeah. Because you're blaming the DA. You can't even figure out why the DA. And now you're like, you're soft. The borders are soft. We get it, Jimmy. You're a racist. We get it. You're a racist
ORC
Republican.
crew that we've
You don't
been
like
after for a
brown
while.
people. You don't like
Hit
like
a Louis
Democrats.
Vuitton.
You don't like the border. We get it. But nothing you've said today makes any goddamn sense.
You don't even let anybody talk. That's your problem.
Well, I've asked you for data, and you won't give me any.
You silence people. You mute them to fit your own agenda. That's all you do. And you,
Yeah,
you
because
won't even-
Jimmy,
it's common
Jimmy,
sense.
and
Go
again,
out
Jimmy,
look into
no,
the
Jimmy,
world.
common sense is stupid. Common
Go
sense is
sit in
what
a courtroom.
stupid people
Go
with
sit
no
in a
data
courtroom.
say. Again, Jimmy,
Go sit
I am
in a
happy.
courtroom.
I'm happy to have long form discussions with intellectually honest people. You're
Go sit in a
intellectually
courtroom.
dishonest. You're intellectually dishonest,
No,
Jimmy.
I'm literally
you can't
telling
even you can't even
exactly
tell
what
me
goes on in the
about
world.
Glenn
You
Funk. You
obviously
can't.
You probably don't leave your room. You sit behind your computer, and that's all you do. You
Yeah,
go.
Jimmy.
You don't even know
Yeah,
what
there
the
we
real
go,
world
Jimmy.
is like.
There we go. Go
sit-
ad
sit
homes,
in a
Jimmy.
courtroom.
Yeah, Jimmy. That's what I did. That's what I did.
You definitely didn't want to talk about the border. That's for sure.
We weren't talking about the border, you potato. You only started talking about it when I dunked on you 50 fucking times in a row. And then you're like,
dunk on
oh,
shit.
the border. I live in a border state, Jimmy. Want to tell me more about the border from Tennessee? You probably don't leave your house. I was at the border a week ago. I left my house and went down to the border. I'm down at the border regularly, Jimmy. Tell me more about the border.
Congratulations.
Yeah, when was the last time you went to the border, Jimmy?
What border? You had the Texas-Arizona border? No.
Bro, Texas and Arizona don't border each other. There's a state in between.
I didn't say. Oh my God. I didn't even say that.
What's the Texas-Arizona border then?
Texas or Arizona.
Well, I live in Arizona, so what border do you think I went to?
So you're what, Sierra Vista?
No, not Sierra Vista, Nogales.
You should try going down there sometime.
I was
You
there
obviously-
last
you
week, you fucking potato.
Since
Did
you're-
you
since
hear
you're
what I
on
said?
TikTok, Since you're on TikTok, you must have seen the millions of TikTok videos where we're
No,
getting flooded.
Jimmy
There's
now,
there's
Jimmy
there's
wants me to go
literally-
down there, finds out I went down there. He's like, you should look at TikTok instead. Jimmy, who just said, the problem with me is I don't leave my house and experience things. Now that I have
They don't-
experienced those things, now you want me to go back to my house and get on TikTok and watch
There's
videos. Jimmy
there's
from
certain
Tennessee,
routes
the
they
border
take.
expert,
Wow.
who will use any argument possible to not ever admit that he's wrong, including immediately reversing his argument about how
Coyotes
uninformed
use
I am
specific
because I
routes
look at
that they've used
because I'm on
once in the
TikTok.
past 6
Then it
months.
turns out I went to the border, and Jimmy's like, no, you got to get back on TikTok, dog. Okay, Jimmy.
So you think there's no border crisis?
I do think that there's an issue at the border, and I think it has nothing to do with Donald Trump or Joe Biden.
It's not. It's, it's a
explain to me how it
coincidence
is.
that Biden becomes president, and now all of a sudden
That's not what happened. You don't know anything about. No. So when Trump took over, we had basically 10 years of like between 30 and 50,000 border crossings a month. Before COVID, we were up to 160,000. We had this sharp increase in border crossings. COVID happened. Remember, Trump was president. It's like this. COVID happened. It dropped down, and then it came back up and continued on that line. If you cut out COVID, it would be a line that was like this. But you don't know that, Jimmy, because you watch TikTok and you don't look at statistics. The reason we have people coming to the border is because of the instability south of our border in other countries. Border crossings went up almost 4 times under Donald Trump, and you didn't say shit about that. You didn't even know
So
about it.
why do we have
You did?
people
Did you know
coming
that?
from Middle
Did you
Eastern
know that?
countries?
Did you know that?
Why do we have Middle Eastern?
No, I asked a question. Did you know that? Of course
Sorry, I
you
wasn't
didn't
even
know that,
listening to
Jimmy.
you.
Well, then get the fuck out of here. Leave then.
Everybody, you're being brainwashed. That's all. One agenda. You're being brainwashed.
All right, Jimmy, I'll give you the last word. Go ahead.
Look at the crisis and state our country's in.
Of course, I'm not giving you the last word, you potato. Fall for it every time. Jimmy came up to tell some stories. This is like that guy yesterday. Don't let Republicans do this. You don't have to be polite to people who want to come up and narrativize something. You don't. Force them to give you data. Force them to back up what they say with anything outside of their opinion. This man went from like talking like he was in California, talking like he was at the border, right? He's like, it's these illegal, I think he said aliens, illegal aliens, I think is what he said. Then it turns out this idiot's in Tennessee in a red state. He's talking about Glenn Funk, who is Glenn Funk, who is he? By the way, Glenn Funk has been repeatedly investigated by the Tennessee Attorney General, and they find nothing. They've repeatedly investigated him for violating the law, and they have found absolutely nothing. Great job, Jimmy. All right, just for everybody that's here, if you're in the box, I would like to just remind you, we're looking at opposition only. So if you're not opposition, you're in the box. I'm going to do that. Yeah, loss prevention, Jimmy. All right. Let's go. Who haven't I talked to? I don't know if I've talked to Little Birdie before. Little Birdie, welcome. Maybe. How many times do we have to say it? Republicans just want to complain about things. There's no solutions. There's no data. They just want to complain about a bunch of stuff. Let's see. Darnell, are you opposition? Can anybody tell me on Darnell? All right. If you could drop down there, Darnell, that'd be great. Just Lovin', I don't think we've talked before. Just Lovin'. Maybe not here. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. No Lovin' for Just Lovin'. All right, Rob. No Rob. Jamal. The only loss seems to be in Jimmy's employment.
You know
guys
what?
are brutal.
I know you said debate only, but let me correct some of these people who doing about
Jamal, let me ask you a question real quick.
I-
Jamal, let me ask you a question real quick.
Yeah.
And I'm going to ask this to everybody. This for the first time. I'm going to like kind of be a dick. I don't understand why you would wait all that time to correct something. Like shoot me a DM or something. But like I've asked repeatedly on that.
Right. I'm sorry.
Be a little more. I'll let you do your thing. But in the future, guys, could we be respectful of that? Like
yeah,
that'd be great. All right, go ahead. I'm going to fill up my drink, but I'm listening to you.
I'm sorry. Let me correct this dude. The dude that talk about the military stuff. The pullout would have went wrong on any end, whether it was Trump. Yeah, I was here yesterday. It makes no difference if it was under Mullen, Dempsey, Dunford, or Milley. Under Trump or Biden. It made no difference. The pullout would have been bad on both ends. And Trump tried to pull out before June of 2020 with everything, and and that was a complete mess up. I just wanted to kind of bring that out, and then I'm finna get off here so people can debate.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it. You're right about that. You're right about that. Did we lose you? Thank you, Jamal. I appreciate it. Look, I hate doing that. I want to be nice to everybody. I really do. Despite what some of the Republicans in here think, I'd much rather have like civil debates and be nice, but I do need to do that. Poli-sci majors up in here. We got some? Rob, welcome back. I tried to bring you up. There you go. Oh, that was quick. I was a political science major, but I went to a shitty school. I was very uneducated about political science because I was educated by Republicans. Hunt's Gay shirts. Just gonna breathe at me? Are you asleep? All right. Weird. All right. Somebody wanted me to play this video. Shit. Where did it go? Oh, no. Danielle, you sent me a video. Now I can't. I close it out. Danielle, can you send that video again? Or maybe it's here. Let's see. What's it? You dick. Danielle, send me that video again. Rob, what is going on? What's going on with Rob here? Rob, one more shot. What's going on?
Oh, can you hear?
Yeah, I can hear you kind of.
Cool. I was just wondering, what do you do for like a living? If you don't mind me asking.
Right now, this is what I do.
Just social media full time?
Yep.
Oh, cool. That's it. Thank you. I was just wondering that.
Appreciate it. Yeah, I've done a lot of things for a living. Previously, the story I was talking about before, I worked for a well, I gotta be careful with that because there's police reports attached to that, and unfortunately, people dox. How much can I say about that? Yeah, I don't care actually. It was fine. I worked for Callaway, the golf company. So when I was tracking all that stuff down, it was for Callaway. Danielle, did you send? There it is. Thank you, Danielle. I wanted to pull this up. This is this video is entitled, what does it say? Trump claiming that Biden is not capable.
We have a man that's not capable. He's not capable. You know how you spell us, right? You spell us, U.S. I just picked that up. Has anyone ever thought of that? I just picked that up. I'm a very handsome person, so I guess a lot of you want to sit. They want to sit and look at me because I'm so, like a beauty pageant. Elegant, beautiful, eloquent, elegant, and eloquent. A couple of days I'm reading and it said us. And I said, you know, if you think about it, us equals U.S. Isn't it? I did nothing wrong at all. Viktor Orban. Did anyone ever hear of him? He's the leader of, right? He's the leader of Turkey. I don't mind being Nelson Mandela. And I'll tell you, does anybody want to hear the snake? Or no? They're releasing proof more and more. I did
All right, That's only funny if you're a Democrat. That's not very funny if you're not. That's only funny if you just hate Trump and you like Lincoln Project. Rare swing and a miss there by Lincoln Project. I didn't love that one, Danielle. I appreciate it. I would laugh at that on my own time, but... Oh, yeah, there may be some people thinking I'm in politics. Look, I made some enemies a couple days ago of trying to... I called out a political person. That could have been them, actually. Oh, could that possibly have been Robert Duran the Fourth there that kept coming up? Could that possibly have been Robert Duran? Could have been. He's very mad at me for exposing him. Are you guys talking? Yeah, I do have bad posture. Are you talking about me? I have horrific posture. Thank you for that. I have a really bad back. Oh, the box is empty. Miss Julie, are you here? Yeah, I need to get a stand-up desk. Unfortunately, I built this. This one I actually can stand up. Like if you look, my chair is actually really high. Hi, Miss Julie.
Hi, Jay. How are you?
I'm wonderful, Miss Julie. How are you?
Oh, doing better now that I'm finally home from jail.
Yeah. How did you find your home when you got home?
Well, getting home was part of the problem.
Last we talked to you, you were on the side of the road with your thumb out.
Yeah, I was. My little bitty thumbs, they were obstructed by my enormous breasts, what with the little T-Rex arms. What are you going to do? I'm a big girl, Jay, I'm not going to lie. You know, 5'11", 275. I'm corn-fed and farm-raised. Pepperidge Farm. That's my favorite kind. So, eventually, somebody did come up onto me on the side of the road and offer me a ride, which should have been my first sign, as I was waving that umbrella like crazy, trying to keep those predator pigeons away from me. Oh, that was rough. So, this good old boy, he said his name was Junior. He offered me a ride, and I was not about to say no. Now, an important part of this story, Jay,
yes, ma'am.
Remember when I got rescued off the fridge, and those workers came in and put the crane through the window? And
I remember that.
They came in with the crowbars. Yeah, and they pried me off the fridge, and I hit my face on the Whisker Biscuit receptacle.
I remember that.
Yeah.
Your nose kind of took a beating on that one.
Yeah, well, I broke my glasses too, so...
Oh, I'm sorry.
That factors into my judgment on the following leg of my journey. So I got in with Junior. We were riding along, and I was trying to make some small talk. And so I asked him, what'd you like to do for fun? So he just kind of scratched around on his greasy gray sweatpants, and he says, I like free balling. Now, I thought he said free basing, so I said, well, I could do to get my hands on some of that.
Sure.
Well, the next thing he knows, he pulled open the front of his sweatpants. I thought there was an epileptic mouse in there. So I grabbed the snow brush and started beating him repeatedly in his lap. Well, he started squealing like a pig, drove us off the road, right into a what do you call that?
An embankment?
Pole.
An electric pole?
No,
No.
he crashed us into the electric pole. Oh, my goodness. Jay, it launched me through the windshield. But, you know, Jay, I was not afraid. I was not afraid. I could hear Sarah McLachlan softly singing, in the arms of the angels. And they just carried me through and laid me down ever so gently on a pile of pine needles.
That is
And
beautiful.
I was okay. Now, I don't know what happened to Junior and his epileptic hamster. tough shit for him, I'd say.
Wait, so you don't know what happened to Junior? You just
You
left him?
think I stuck around?
No, obviously not.
Oh, hell no. I was out of there. So, I got back to the apartment, and the window's been fixed, and Cousin Sheila, that bitch, she had agreed to... I'm sorry, that's just what I call her. Let me get a drink of this Diet Pepsi.
That happens.
So, no, she had promised me she'd take care of Miss Kitty Whispers while I was in the clink.
How's Miss Kitty Whiskers looking?
Well, I have not... Would you please stop calling her by the wrong name, Jay? That's very hurtful.
What did
It's
I say?
Miss Kitty Whispers. WHISPURRS.
Did I say whiskers? Did I say whiskers?
Yes.
I apologize for that. Miss Kitty Whispers. I apologize. Thank you. Sorry. Send my apologies to Miss Kitty Whispers, too.
Well, I haven't seen too much of her. Now, maybe she was upset by that bitch being over here all this time. But I will say the place is spotless. It looks like nobody's ever even been in here. The litter box is pristine. Everything seems right as rain. Sorry, I have to keep drinking. My throat's dry. Because I thought all that freebasing.
You've been through a lot. I can understand having a parched throat.
I have been.
Yeah.
So, you know, I put some of Miss Kitty's favorite little meow mix out in the bowl, and she hadn't come out, so I tried coaxing her with the theme song. I want tuna, I want chicken, I want liver, please deliver. She wasn't having that either. Yeah.
I remember those.
Gotta love
jingles.
the Meow Mix song. So yeah, Miss Kitty, I guess she was just a little nervous. So I tell you, Jay, I had to do something unpleasant when I got here.
What'd you have to do?
Well, do you remember where my teeth were last we saw them?
Behind the fridge, right?
No, Jay, they were in the commode.
That's right.
They were unfortunately in the commode, which, having been left undisturbed for all this period of time, seemed to have developed a bit of a slimy film over the top of it, and there's no way I was reaching in there for them, so I went and looted around the kitchen for some time looking for an implement of destruction with which to extract said dentures from the toilet. So I finally did find the hot dog tongs, and I thought, well, that was good enough choice. So I went in there bravely as could be, broke through the scummy top, fished the teeth out, and promptly threw them in the garbage where they belonged as their rightful resting place. I can't have that. Rest in peace. I can see a whole lot of pudding in my future, Jay, and it's not pretty. That's a lot of pudding. So, anyway, Sheila, I call her by name that time because I had to reach out for a favor.
Sure.
You know, she makes a lot of money, and I don't begrudge her that, but I do resent the shit out of her. But she got all those Trump tax cuts, so she's got more money than sense. But I told her I was going to need me a replacement set of teeth, and yeah, she agreed to finance them, so hopefully they'll be here tomorrow or the next day, and well, that's the best I can hope for. I hope she comes through for me, and she did take care of Miss Kitty Whisper as far as I can tell, but you know, she's hiding here somewhere. I'll find her.
Well,
I'll find her.
I'm thrilled to know you're getting some new teeth, and again, I would like you to send my apologies to Miss Kitty Whispers. I apologize for misnaming
I
Miss
know
Kitty
you
Whispers.
did not. I know you had no ill intent when calling her out of her name. That you were not trying to shame her or make her feel less than or reduce her to the quantity of her facial features as her whiskers. I can appreciate that, Jay. Yeah. So, you know, I got to go looking for Miss Kitty again. And hopefully I'll feel bad about my damn teeth. They were expensive. And you know, I have put some questionable shit in my mouth, Jay, in my long lifetime. But those teeth out of the toilet, that just wasn't happening. Oh, I'd like to think I've gotten a little older and wiser. Anyway, I gotta go find Miss Kitty, so I'll check back in tomorrow, Jay.
Yeah, God bless you, Miss Julie. Be well.
Yeah, thanks for letting me give you an update.
I
I'll talk
appreciate
to you
the
soon,
update. I'm
my
glad you're
love.
doing well.
Hey,
Congratulations on the getting through that car wreck, relatively unfazed.
it was just by the grace of God and Sarah McLaughlin.
Praise Sarah
Works every
McLaughlin. Praise
time.
Jesus. I agree.
Absolutely. And I gotta say, what's with you following that Miss Danielle back so quick? I had to beg you for weeks to follow me back. My goodness.
I really shouldn't have done that. The amount of shit I'm getting in the Discord about following Danielle back. I apologize.
And it's nothing against Miss
We'll
Danielle.
set up a request. We'll set up a request line for follows back. I'm so
I
sorry
bet
to
Miss
everybody.
Danielle is a lovely, lovely person, and she sounds like she has real long, pretty hair and a beautiful smile. But yeah, Jay, just because other women are more palatable than me,
I'm following you. I'm following you. Why are you dumping on me? I'm following
you. Really made me, Jay, you really made me work for it. And I just don't do that with men anymore. I've had enough.
God, why you gotta throw me under the bus? I'm following you. I'm just bad at this. I'm so sorry to everybody.
I'm going to misquote the TLC song on purpose. I am too proud to beg. Never again, Jay. Never. I'll see you tomorrow, dear.
Goodbye,
Bye-bye.
Miss Julie. Thank you. Why is she gonna cancel me like that? Listen, here's the truth. At the end of a live, there's a bunch of notifications. I always post a video before my live. There's too many. I just can't go through them. And then I can't just click on your names in Discord and click on your profile to follow. So when somebody comes up on here, somebody shows up as a guest, and I know that they're in Discord, and I see that I'm not following them, I just follow them. So listen, I'll be better. I promise to be better. We'll just say that. God damn it, Miss Julie. I'm glad she's doing well. The box is actually empty. All right. Listen, we'll do this because I'm going live tonight. I'm gonna go live tonight at 7 on YouTube. I'll probably regret this. I'm gonna do 30 minutes of Ask Me Anything. We'll do 30 minutes of Ask Me Anything. If you come up and you're in the guest box and I happen to, and you're also in Discord, I will follow you. But that's what we'll do for the last 30 minutes. We haven't done this in a long time. I do have Cash App and stuff. That's in, if you go to my profile, I think the Venmo and Cash App are in my link tree. You can check that. I don't like to post it up here. Feels a little grifty. If we could, on the Ask Me Anythings, if we could try and keep them brief. Great, the box, this is not good. All right. DJ Tony Stewart, you are first.
What's up, man?
How are you? All right, brother.
I'm good, man. You've been on a roll today, bro.
We're bringing out MAGA, man.
Dude, Jimmy,
yeah.
What was up with that guy? Oh God, that one was painful. Ask You Anything. Okay. Do you like living in Arizona?
I love living in Arizona. It was a choice to live here.
So where did you come from before?
I grew up in Utah. I moved to Arizona. Then I was Mormon. I grew up in Utah. I went on a Mormon mission to Spokane, Washington. When I came back, I moved to Arizona to play soccer. I've said this before, I was at Scottsdale Community College, where I was a fighting artichoke. Then I transferred, and I never did play again. I had too many concussions. So I had transferred to Grand Canyon to play, but never played again. So I played at Utah Valley, and then I played at Scottsdale. But I always wanted to come back to Arizona. I hate the snow. I think snow and cold are stupid. and we don't have cold or snow in Arizona.
You got excruciating heat.
Yeah, but everybody see, I don't have as much time now because of this, but I used to golf a lot, and in the summer when it's 110, nobody else is golfing, so you have the whole place to yourself. So
I don't know how you do that. Just stand in the heat, like, I'd melt, bro.
Yeah, you just get used to it. That's what
I guess.
what it is.
I just want to just pop in and say that, and
Appreciate it.
I'll be in the chat.
Good talking to you. We'll see it. All right, next is You Dig.
Hi.
Welcome. Hi.
Okay, I have a question.
Yes.
Was the chicken wing or the soaking better?
Chicken wing. Chicken
Okay,
wing is
that's
better.
all I needed to know. Thank you.
I was involved in soaking the chicken wing. I had to tell you what, it was not good. It was not good, but it technically better since it actually happened. Shinigami, is that what that said? Sorry.
How's it going?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing all right. I just had a quick question for you.
Yeah.
So I know you answered that you do like social media for a living, but what's your favorite part about doing it?
Honestly, honest to God, the Discord has been my favorite part of it. The community in the Discord is a lot of fun. It's a bunch of like lunatics. You get to know a lot of people that you never would have met otherwise. And I think that's by far my favorite part of social media is the Discord.
All right. Thank you for your time.
You bet. See ya. All right. Let me make sure I get to subscribers too here. Katrina. Take that, Discord. All this shitting on me all day, and then I said something nice to you. Take that. Hey, Katrina.
Hi.
Hi.
Okay. Quick question.
Yes.
You said I can ask you anything, right?
That's correct.
Okay. Would you rather Winnie the Pooh it or free ball it?
I don't know what Winnie the Pooh is. Do I need? Hold on. Let me look it up. Is this an Urban Dictionary thing?
I'm gonna make you Google it.
Oh, free ball, 100%, 100%. Yeah, free ball.
Okay, good.
We're gonna go free ball. Thank you, Katrina.
Awesome. That's
Appreciate it. Not as bad as you think. Winnie the Pooh is just wearing a shirt, only a shirt, nothing on underneath. Free ball, 100%. You still have some protection there. We will go to Band Pioneer. Welcome.
Hey, RTP, how's it going?
Good. How are you?
Good, man. I love your live. I
Thank
feel
you.
like it's informative and as entertaining as anything you'd even find on TV, probably. Well, that might not be saying much, but
I
I
appreciate
just
it.
got one question for you. How do I
Yeah.
get on the Discord? I can't find a link for it.
Shoot me a DM, and I'll send it to you after this.
Okay, great.
Okay.
Appreciate it.
Yep. I could answer. That was an easy question. Appreciate that one. For anybody who wants a link to the Discord, you can send me a message. You can send IB a message. That's Infectious Bites, Jen, Korean Leftists, or Whisper. Those are the people who can send an invite. All right. Speak of the devil, Jen. This is gonna be fucked up. What? I already know. What?
All right.
Go
Would
ahead.
you rather? Would you rather get a text from a one-night stand that says, I'm pregnant? Or would you rather get a text saying, I have an STD?
Oh, pregnant. Pregnant. I'm pregnant. 100%. 100%. I only date pro-choice, okay? Don't have one-nighters with pro-lifers, okay? That's my advice. Thanks, Jen. Appreciate that.
I enjoy making you uncomfortable, as
Appreciate
usual.
it. You did well. That was far less severe than I thought that was going to be. Joyful. Welcome. Hey, Joyful.
Hello, how are you?
Wonderful. How are you?
So I know we're on such hard hitting questions here. So you promise to answer truthfully and honestly?
No.
Okay.
I'll do my best, but not all
Who's your
questions.
favorite? Who's your
Who's
favorite?
my
Fee
favorite?
or Miss Julie?
Oh, Miss Julie.
Oh, okay.
She's my favorite. No matter who asks that question, the answer is Miss Julie. That's not
Okay.
even a slide on you. No matter who asks that question, outside of my daughter, anybody that asks that question, the answer is Miss Julie.
Fantastic. Thank you so much.
Thank you. See it. All right. Hole. Hey, Hole.
Freshwater or saltwater fishing?
I've never really done like true saltwater fishing, so it's freshwater.
What do you usually catch?
Nothing.
Do you fly or do you use a...
I grew up where I grew up. I could ride my bike. It was like 30 minutes to a lake or like an hour to the river. The lake had like walleye, white bass, and catfish in it, and then the river had brown trout and rainbow trout. So that's mostly what I fished for.
Fly fishing or no?
Sometimes, depending on where it was. I lived near the Provo River, which is like a kind of a renowned fly fishing spot. They have like really big brown trout, but everybody fly fishes, and it's fly and lure only, and nobody fishes with like spinners or lures. So the fish would never see lures, so it's much easier. I was all about efficiency. So fly fishermen, they were the purists. I just wanted to do whatever I could to catch the fish. So not a ton of fly fishing there, but I did a lot of fly fishing in lakes, actually, from like a float tube.
I've never fly fished. That's something
It's honestly kind of stupid, to be honest. I'm sorry for anybody that does it. It's like the dumbest way to fish. The rod is so long. You're in a river. There's trees everywhere. It's the dumbest way to fish.
For the esoteric conversations like this that people enjoy listening to, just come to my lives and I'll talk more about fishing.
Shameful plug. Shameful. No, follow Hole. You
I never go live.
Plugger. Get out of here. Just kidding. Do follow Hole. He does go live sometimes. Hey, here we go. This is a Little White Privilege. We're doing Q&A. We're doing. I don't know if you're here to debate or if you want to do Ask Me Anything. We're going through that real quick. But this next up was. Sorry, I forgot to read the name. Why does this guy look so soft? Me? Because I am soft. I got a big old heart. Christopher.
Hey. I just wanted to know, was the transition, like once you stopped following Trump and joined the left, did you just immediately start drinking soy, or was it like a transition? Or
Well, I was libertarian first, so I went to strictly well water and recaptured or reclaimed water. So while I was a libertarian, I only drank what I could capture from the sky, which was tough in Arizona. But then once I found liberalism, I was able to just exclusively drink soy.
Did that attract a very liberal girlfriend, or was it part of that?
Yeah, yeah, I think so. I'd imagine that what people find most attractive about me is that I drink a lot of soy. I think that's probably what it
I
is.
appreciate the candor on that. Thanks, man. I love your live.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you. Grandpa from Tampa. How are you, brother? Oh, Jen. Yeah, you should ask that. Hey, Grandpa from Tampa. How are you?
Hey, I'm hanging in there. Okay,
Yeah.
everybody generally in life has a price. Do you agree or disagree?
Everybody in life has a what?
A price. There's
A
a
price.
price. Yes.
Sure.
Okay, what amount of money will it take for you to publicly announce that you're voting for Trump?
Not that much, because I'm not opposed to lying. So I just have to announce it, or do I actually have to vote?
We want you to vote and then come on here and admit that you voted for him. What's the price?
I see here. There's definitely a price for everything, right? But the price has to include basically everybody I care about thinking I'm a fraud. So we've got to. It's got to be like retire. I know this sounds crazy, but I do care way too much about what people think. It would have to be like $10 million. Honestly, because I'm so fragile, and I would have to take that 10 million and I'd have to move someplace where there like aren't people, and I would
And
just
then
live out the rest of my life in a cabin.
and
And
destroy all your social media platforms.
yeah, I would really have to run away. But there's some friend I could probably get HVAC and Bad Views and David to come with me. At least I could have some. I'd still be the smartest person, so that'd be good.
That was a good answer. Okay.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Hey, be well.
All right.
Thanks, Grandpa, for Tampa. The OG. Lord, let's see. I get the subscribers. Lori. Mel says I'd rather die than live with HVAC. Lori, hi.
I'm just one of those people that wants to thank you for your lives. You do an awesome job. And there are certain people that I swear I can come to on TikTok and listen to, and I know I'm getting facts. I know I'm getting facts and truths. And you are one of them. And I just want to thank you for your lives. That's all.
Thank you, Lori. I appreciate that.
Thank you.
All right, Lori. Thank you. It was very sweet. We got Allie. God damn it. This is going to be great. What, Allie? What do you want?
Hey, what's up? What do you
Yeah.
want?
What do you want?
Whatever.
What do you want?
Yeah, so I'm just kind of curious about, like, you know how when we get into the economics conversation with Republicans generally speaking, we go into the stats of good unemployment and, all the stats that we normally go into. Those aren't really translating to people, I don't think, at this point. So how do we get to a place where we understand, where we help Republicans understand that what's happening in their personal finances is not necessarily indicative of the economy as a whole, and that even if it was in any remote way indicative, that there's still more hope on the progressive side than there is on the Republican side for those policies. What do you think about that?
I don't know that happens, to be honest. I think that there's just too many people who are dyed in the wool, and that's red or blue, that would never vote the other way. What I think we can do, if we want the economic policies of the right to change, we have to kick their ass in elections. You have to beat them so badly that they make a change. That it's what they should have done in 2012, and in fact they did. Like, there's a post-mortem from the Republican Party that you can go read after Romney lost, and what they learned is, like, the reason that they lost, the issues that they lost on, were things like the border, were things like healthcare, were things like LGBTQ issues. And they, in the post-mortem, they basically said, we need to change our views on this. We need to evolve. And they didn't. And fortunately for them, they got Trump, who was such a different candidate that even though he didn't run on those issues, he ran as a personality. He's still running as a personality, and it worked for them. But you've seen the chaos since then, 2018, 2020, 2022, now 2024. You're seeing that, like, doubling down on those policies doesn't work. And I think that's what's going to happen. I think you will see a shift by the Republican Party to the left after 2024, and I think it'll happen in 2026 again. But honestly speaking, I think that's how you have to do it. You have to win elections and then force them to move left.
All right, that's all I needed. Thanks.
All right, thanks, Allie. I thought that was going to be so bad. That was a great question. All right, CJ. Now I'm going to get yelled at. Watch this. Oh, CJ, you coming? Hey, CJ, I'm following you now. I'm following you.
Oh, okay. That's what I thought. How are you?
Good. That was your question? You only get one.
No, that was
right.
my question. So I have bad signal.
That's all right.
So would you prefer to debate J-Man or HVAC?
HVAC.
I'm sorry to hear that. I get jump scared every time he shows up on the screen.
Yeah, HVAC has a crush on me, so he's a little nicer to me than he is to other people. He's a little more docile, a little bit. I'm kind of the dom in this relationship, so it's easier for me to talk to HVAC. He listens.
I can see. I can see that. All right. Well, I appreciate my follow back because justice for the unfollowed.
That's correct. Now you are followed. Thanks to Chelsea. See ya.
Thank you.
Another Discord member there. Let's see. Who do we have? who was longest. I don't know how this works. I don't know who is longest. Jen, you don't get 2 questions. Randy. Hey, Randy.
Hey, what's up, man?
How are you?
I'm good, man. Love your content. It's awesome.
Thank you.
My question is, do you think that indictments are going to happen in Congress? Because, Trump's one thing, but they still have a bunch of cancerous people in Congress. What's your feeling on that? That's my question.
I'm trying to think just like who would...
Like Jim Jordan.
I think there's potential for people like Jim Jordan, for Andy Biggs, the Freedom Caucus. I think it's possible that there were some people in the Freedom Caucus that were involved in some crimes. I've never seen that evidence yet, but I guess it's possible. I would say no. Like if I had to guess, I'd say no because I haven't seen anything come out that implicates them in the crimes. If I did, then if they were implicated, I don't know why they wouldn't be part of those RICO charges. So I would doubt it, but I would love to see them leave Congress one way or another. So.
Well, I just meant like J6. He's probably not. He's still got more indictments, but he's just you don't show everything, right?
Yeah, no, it definitely could. I just haven't seen anything that says it will.
And then.
Oh no, you only get 1 question, Randy.
Okay, sorry,
right.
buddy.
Thanks, brother.
Cool. Thanks
See
a
ya.
lot. Appreciate it.
All right. David Johnson. How much time do we got left? 15 more minutes? David Johnson, welcome.
Well, either way, it doesn't matter who did it. I don't care who did it. Either way, the wire.
Hey, sorry about that. Hey, RTP, got to know, man. Where does one acquire such impeccable debating skills? Because you slice through these potatoes like you're making hash browns, brother.
I don't know. I've been arguing my whole life. It's just what I do. I don't have a good answer for that. I've always been pretty politically active. When I was a Republican, I was. So I don't know. I don't know the answer to that question. I enjoy doing it, though.
All right on. Well, keep it up, man. I love your show.
Brother. Thanks, David. We'll see you.
All
right. The official Eli. Jaguars still have official Eli. Welcome.
Hey, what's up, man?
How are you?
So I got this idea from Hull because he said freshwater or saltwater fish.
Okay.
So if you drink bottled water, spring water or purified, and I'm going to judge the fuck out of your answer.
You're going to really judge it because I don't know the difference.
Okay.
I don't know.
I actually can't. I can answer that because of an old job I used to work at, but this
Please tell me.
is not time for that conversation.
Okay. Shoot me a DM. Explain it to me. I don't know the difference.
Okay. All right. That's fine.
All right. See it. I do know the last bottle of water I bought it said spring water. I assume one comes from a spring and one is just like filtered, but I don't know which water is just spring or filtered. If somebody hands me a bottle of water, that's probably what I'm gonna drink. I'm not a water snob. Let's make sure we get these. I'm Groot.
Jay, what up?
How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you? That's not my question.
Okay.
All right. F, marry, kill. But the person you choose F, you have to be with them. You have to put up with them for like a year. Okay, so F, marry, kill. Yeah, I know. It's a tough one.
Okay.
We'll go MTG, Boebert, or Sidney Powell.
All right. That is difficult. That is so hard. All right. So Boebert's the best looking, so she's on F, and I feel like I feel like I could trick her into being. I feel like I could turn her into a liberal very quickly. She is not bright. She'll just repeat things. I could just tell her that what I was telling her were Republican talking points, and she would just repeat them. Marry. You know what? I think I'm gonna. This is just gonna be a default thing. I think I'm marrying Marjorie Taylor Greene, but we are gonna live. babe, hold on, hear me out. We are going to live out in the sticks in Georgia, and I'm going to get a job that requires me to travel a lot. The thing that I do know about Marjorie Taylor Greene, there will be plenty of firewood. She will chop trees. She will chop lumber all day long. She's probably pretty handy in the outdoors. We'll have a nice place. And Sidney Powell, the Kraken's got to go.
Great answer. All right.
Thank you.
Thanks, man. I love you.
Bye. That was a hard question. Marge, hit me up if you're looking. Captain Obvi. That's not working. There we go. Are you there? No go for Captain Obvi. Well, it's all right, Lil White. All right, I'll let you answer I'll let you ask your question. I wasn't sure if you were coming to debate or not. Fair enough. I've skipped you over a bunch of times. Welcome. Is that a fish in your? Oh, is that a bass? We there? We update the profile picture to a largemouth. I skipped him over and then I bring him up and it's not going to load. There we go. Hey, brother. That's a nice fish you got there.
So, hey, yeah, the feminists are always talking about guys with fish, so I had to post it to piss off the feminists. But
such an asshole.
Anyway,
that was pretty good.
I think it's funny. I agree with you on the F, marry, kill list. I would definitely marry MTG, but I'd love to debate
reasons, I think.
Our failed economics. Well, yeah, but still, like Sidney Powell is the definite kill. But and Bobart's hot. But yeah, so I would love to debate our failed economic state right now, but I have to ask, my question is, why is fly fishing silly? Because for me, it's more of an art, and it allows you to do things you couldn't do with conventional tackle.
Yeah, it is more of an art. It does allow you to do things that you can't do with conventional tackle, but I've never found in my experience fishing for trout that it was the most effective way to catch a fish. I did it a bunch. My dad loved fly fishing, and we would fly fish all the time. But I'm just like, I'm ADHD. I'm gonna do whatever catches the fish the quickest.
Dude, that's funny because so I like being able to. I like the way you can maneuver the bait or the flies better in the water. But my dad, after he retired as an executive with Albemarle, he became a professional fly fisher. So he did a show on ESPN and all that kind of thing. So it's sort of funny.
That's amazing. All right. Well, hey, we'll debate failed economic theories another time, though. I promise.
Awesome.
I do. Be well. See ya. There we go. That'd be a good job, a professional fly fisherman. All right. Jen already got one. Miss Julie, welcome back.
I missed you, Jay.
I missed you too, terribly. Go ahead.
Well, I got in the gummies, so this may be a little silly.
Okay.
Now, I'll give you a choice, though.
Okay.
Do you want a dirty joke or a deep, probing brain reach? And no, they're not the same thing.
Those both sound dirty.
They're not the same thing.
This feels like a trap. This feels like a trap.
No, it's really not,
all right,
Jay.
give me the deep probe brain tease.
Would you rather fight a cow-sized cat or 100 cat-sized cows?
Does the cow-sized cat move like a cat?
Yes.
Are these feral cats? Are these like house? Are these house cats?
Oh! Who just said something horrible in the comments?
Wait, can I? Hold on. No, we don't do comments, Miss Julie. Can I wear what?
We don't, but she said she could punt a cat-sized cow.
That's a hell of a punt. Can I wear whatever I want?
Sure.
Okay, I'm dressing completely in tinfoil. I'm taking on the 100 cats. They will all scatter immediately. Boom! Take that, 100 cats. And I don't have to worry about a massive cat roaming the neighborhood. Got it.
Absolutely. But what do you call a lesbian dinosaur, Jay?
I know this one.
It's a
But I don't want to get in
lickalotopus.
trouble, so you say it.
It's a lickalotopus.
There we go. How dare you, Miss Julie? I got to kick her off for those awful, vulgar things that she said that I definitely don't endorse. Or that's right, they're afraid of cucumbers, too. I forgot about those ones. All right, Jen has a question from the Discord, she says. We'll see. Jen.
Yes. So it's not my question.
Okay.
I'm actually really disappointed I didn't come up with this question myself.
Okay.
It is from Udig had the question. Fuck, marry, kill.
Oh, God.
HVAC,
Oh,
AV,
oh my God.
or David.
This is a tough. It's the same thing, and I mean no disrespect to all these people, but I'll answer them honestly. David, I can control. I've got David locked down 100%.
I mean, I could see it. Yeah.
So David, I can marry. He's gonna do whatever I want. David, congratulations, your life is saved. Oh man. I can deal with it. Yeah, it's a year. Do I still have the same thing as still a year?
Yep.
You know, I'm probably gonna go. Look, sorry, HVAC, you're gone. I'm probably HVAC's gonna go, and AV's sticking around because he's got a fat ass. I think that's where we're at.
All right.
Bye. Sorry. Sorry, HVAC. I didn't want you to go. I really didn't. I wanted to figure out a way, but I just don't think you're going to be agreeable. And AV, if you're here, it's not disrespectful. He's a big, strong boy. I bet he has tree trunk legs. I got some big legs myself. All right, whoever that was, I can't remember. Jesus, sorry, brother. You're out. Fee. God damn it, Fee. Don't even. If he's back for one day, we'll see, Fee.
That's all
We'll
you're
see.
allowing me is one day and one.
No, I'm saying you're back for one day, and you're already here to make my face red. So go ahead.
No, I promised I would be good, so I'm going to be good.
Okay.
So I just want everybody to tap that screen. Yes. Get over to YouTube at what 7
p.m.
time?
That's right. Yep.
Right?
That's correct.
And if you need a Discord link, you go to KL, Korean Leftist, Infectious Bias, and who else?
Whisper.
Whisper.
I
Okay.
don't know if Whisper's here.
I haven't seen him today, but that doesn't mean he won't be around and be able to help in the Discord. And the question I have is, do you prefer moist or sticky?
In what context?
Let's say in women.
I don't.
Okay.
I don't think the answer's never sticky. It's never sticky.
Okay.
My
There
face
you
is
go.
gonna blow
And your
up.
face isn't
I hate you
red,
so
and
much.
I'm not embarrassing you.
No, you're
and
not.
I could. Yeah, moist is always better.
No. Thank you,
say
Fee. Thank you, Fee. Gotta kick Fee. God damn it. Oh, Kimberly hates this. I'm sorry, Kimberly. I promise you don't hate it as much as me. Sierra. Welcome.
Hello. Sorry. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Sorry, I had to go outside.
That's not a good sign. What's your question?
Well, it's because I have no service in my basement.
Okay, all right, that's better.
This is kind of a question, more of a a suggestion of an account maybe to check out.
Okay.
But I was curious if you'd ever heard of Crutches and Spice.
No.
She is an amazing creator. Her name's Amani. And she talks a lot, obviously, about politics, but she just has kind of a perspective that I don't think a lot of people really get to hear from. And I love your channel. I love listening to your lives every day, Monday through Friday. I listen to you.
Thank you.
Because I love your perspective, and I love how factual you are. I feel like there's just too many people who want to only use their opinion and not use facts and not like base their opinion on facts. But I think that I would really love you to check out Crutches and Spice.
I just
Amani's
followed her.
page.
She has a massive account. I don't know how I never would have come across her.
Oh,
She's
she's
620,000
awesome.
followers. Yeah, I just followed her.
And
Thank you.
she's so informative. She's got so much to say about the things that are going on right now, and she's got a perspective from like the disabled community and the queer community and the Black community that we just don't hear from a lot. That, I mean, even there's things that I was shocked I didn't even recognize. Like she's talking about like the stuff that's going on in Palestine. She talks about different laws that are being put in place that you wouldn't like think would affect the disabled community that actually does. It's really cool.
That's awesome. Yeah, I'll check her out. Thank you.
Yep, absolutely.
All right.
Thank you.
See you, Sierra. Thanks for coming out of the basement for the
Bye.
call. Appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks.
That's not gonna help the liberals live in the basement argument, but I still appreciate it. There's nothing wrong with a basement, by the way. All right. Trashy boy. I think I used to say trashy box, but trashy boy X.
Hi.
Yes. Hey. How
Hi.
are you?
Okay. I'm good. How are you?
Wonderful.
Awesome. Okay, I'm about to go smoke, so I have a question for you.
Yes.
Favorite strain and favorite medium of smoking?
That's a tough one. It depends. It depends on the time of day.
Totally.
There's, I would say like Purple Haze. I'm gonna go Purple Haze, like OG Purple Haze, and I like any sort of dry herb vape.
Ooh, very nice.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, awesome. Okay, yeah,
All right.
that's all I had.
All right. See ya.
See ya.
You get yourself a volcano. It'll change your life. Change your life. Massive Twinkie. How much time do I have? I got like 5-10 minutes left. Hope you guys are enjoying this. I hope you're enjoying this. It definitely drops our viewers, but I'm enjoying it. So, Massive Twinkie.
Hey man, how are you?
Wonderful. How are you?
Living the dream.
There you go. What's your question?
All right. So, hang on. Sorry, I'm a little out of breath.
That's all right.
Had to run up a flight of stairs here. All right. So, with the intent of not having an inept, narcissistic, thieving, grifting, anti-democratic, document-stealing, authoritarian-loving, dividing, lying, hating, election tampering, groping criminal in the office who failed at every promise he made, I'm 100% convinced that Republicans will vote based on nothing else than the ignorant narrative that the economy was run better under Trump than Biden. My question is, how should the Democrats improve their messaging on Biden's performance on the economy in a way that Republicans can actually understand?
That's a good question. It's a really good question. This is the thing about elections. Like, it's really difficult in any economic time, like any trying economic times. It's really hard to run a campaign. I don't know that the messaging would matter that much, because for the Trump voter, for the Republican voter, it's not going to make a difference. What I would do if I was the Democrats and I was in charge of their messaging in swing states, I would talk about a couple of things. I would talk about the fact that we do have tough economic times, and I would focus on the cuts to entitlement spending that Republicans want to make. I would run commercials starting at like 5 a.m. and I'd run them till 3 p.m. and I would specifically target people who are at home, people who are retired, people who might be on disability. I would target whatever they're watching, and I would just talk about the cuts that Republicans are trying to make during trying economic times. It's just too hard to get across simply with messaging that, like, it's a nuanced view. Republicans have an upper hand where they get to say that the economy is a problem right now, and there are problems with our economy, but you can't really have a nuanced or a non-nuanced response. Any response to the economy that isn't nuanced is you're just pretending like everything's okay and everything's not okay. So that's what I would do. I would focus on the stuff Republicans are doing that are going to disproportionately affect certain groups of people, and I would just double down on that all day long.
Awesome. I appreciate that answer. Thank you very much.
You bet. Let's see it. All right. Mandy. Mel was trying to get off weed. Now the Discord's got her locked back in. Hey, Mandy. Are you there? Mandy. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Sorry, Mandy. Don't know what happened there. Swervin's been here for a while. Oh, I don't know if that was Swervin. Swervin, what's up? Maybe Swervin left. Sorry, Swervin. Are people having a hard time joining? I saw that from a couple people. David. Hey, David.
Hey, buddy.
Hey.
I've been watching you. I love the way you break things down.
I appreciate that.
I just wanted to let you know that. I had one question.
Yes, sir.
Were you ever diagnosed as ADHD?
Yes. As an adult, I was religious growing up. My parents didn't really believe in ADHD, so they wouldn't let me even see a doctor about that. But I was diagnosed like, I don't know, maybe 5 or 6 years ago with ADHD.
Medication?
Yep. I can't remember what it's called. What's that?
Does it help?
It helps me immensely. Yeah, I use a slow release. The instant release made me really jittery and gave me anxiety. But if I do the slow release, then and this Adderall, I don't know if I'm allowed to say that. Hopefully, I'm allowed to say that. But that's what I take.
The reason I'm asking is my son. They told me that he had it like when he was when he was very little, and I'm one of the parents that just didn't want to accept that. And now that he's grown, and I noticed that a lot of anger problems I'm having with him, disrespect and stuff. I'm thinking, I put him through the testing and everything, which took forever, and they said, he's kind of high functioning autism and also ADHD, and he's gonna be placed on medication. And me, I'm just worried. But
yeah, look, I can also say this: the medication helps. It's important for me to take breaks from the medication, to take like a week or so off. But the other thing to do is getting inflammatories out of your diet. It screws you up, especially like simple sugars, simple carbohydrates, as much as you can. Getting that out of my diet, having more omega-3s, more, like I said, complex carbohydrates, higher protein, but not necessarily like red meats, like, fish, beans, stuff like that. That helps me a lot too. It just gets rid of that brain fog. So
really?
You can try that too before you do medication if you want, or as a supplement.
His diet sucks. So I don't
yeah,
think it's gonna ever happen.
Diet matters a lot with ADHD, and the medication, depending on how you eat, the medication will respond differently. But if you can try and get that shit out of the diet, get that inflammation out of your diet, at least for me, it helped a lot. I don't know if that's good medical advice or not, by the way. I'm not a medical doctor. That's just what I did.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it.
All right. Okay. See it. Yolanda. Yolanda? Oh, one bar Yolanda out there.
Hello?
No? Why are you whispering? Why did you say it like that?
Sorry, I'm super sick right now. I just got back. I've been gone for like a week, so.
Yeah, I'm sorry you're sick. I'm sorry. What do you got?
This is my first live back. Is this like a new thing you're doing, letting people up finally?
No, this is a Ask Me Anything. Are you just trying to make me uncomfortable right now?
Oh no, you just haven't allowed this before, so I was curious.
Oh. Welcome.
I did have one question. I heard that you lost your virginity to some carpet. Is that true?
If you want to know the answer to that question, you can go to my YouTube. I don't think I can tell that story on TikTok. Our live stream from last Tuesday or Thursday, that story is on there. You can check that out. Thank you, Yolanda. That was terrific. I'm so glad you came back from your illness to do that. Thank you. Goodbye. Oh my God, that is terrific. That is terrific. She asked if I lost my virginity to some carpet, is what she asked. If you want to know the end of that story, you're welcome to go to my YouTube where you will find that story. So, terrific. Ryan. God damn it, Yolanda. God damn it. Hey, how are you?
I watch all the time at work. Team ADHD just diagnosed at 50 yesterday.
Well done. Well done. That's the best time to be diagnosed, I hear.
Yeah.
When your life's half over.
Yeah, when it's almost over. Not almost over, but so my one question that I'm going to ask is, what's the most like crazy unhinged thing you've seen in Maricopa County? Because I feel like every time I go to Arizona, I see something that's just somebody that's just, and I'm from California, and I still feel like when I go there, I just see some strange people doing weird things.
When I first lived here, when I was in college, I worked at like a cell phone kiosk. I think it was maybe Verizon in the Arizona Mills Mall, which is in Tempe. And 2 kiosks down from us, there was those kiosks where they sell like the different flavored popcorn.
Yeah.
A person came in just either completely wet or sweaty. I don't know. It was summer, so it could be either or. But this person didn't look like they had bathed in months. And they came in and they opened up the things and they stuffed their head in every single one of those popcorn things. There's like 12 of them, and they just every time he came up, there was popcorn stuck to his face, and he did that 12 times, and nobody did anything. The person working there was like, "Hey." And the guy just did it and then just walked back out. Like nobody did a single thing about it. And that was like my second day of work. And like I'd been in Arizona maybe for a month at that point.
Are those the popcorns that have the food coloring all over them too? So they're all different colors?
Yes, exactly.
Wonderful.
It was a disaster. Yeah. That was a good question. I forgot about that story till you told me that. Good question, Ryan.
Good one.
Well done. Thank you.
See you later.
Thanks. Jesus is back. How much time do I have? Oh, I have 3 minutes. 2 more questions, then I gotta go. Jesus. Maybe. All right. And oh, good move, Jason, coming in late. Jason's gonna get the last question as a subscriber. Thank you, Jason, for subscribing. Don't W Yolanda in the Discord. L Yolanda. Hey, Jason.
Hey, I was just wondering, I posted in Discord, I thought I'd just go ahead and ask. Fuck, marry, kill, Trump, Jim Jordan.
Oh my God. Dude, what the? All right. Trump's got to go just because too many people follow him, so he's got to go. Too many people have been duped by him. He's got to go. You know what? This is actually easier than you think. Trump's got to go. Giuliani, he's getting the one-nighter. It's gonna be horrific. But at least there will be plenty of alcohol because he's got that. And Jim Jordan, hopefully most of our no, I'm going to switch it. I'm going Jim Jordan because here's the answer. Jim Jordan's getting the one-nighter because I know he won't tell anybody. And Giuliani I'm going to marry because he's on his way out. He's not going to be around for much longer. So Trump's gone, marrying Giuliani, that's going to be over soon. And Jim Jordan's getting the one-nighter because he doesn't tell.
Very strategic. I love it.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you. All right, guys. That's it for me. I hope you enjoyed that Q&A for the last hour. Tonight, 7 o'clock p.m. Pacific Standard time on YouTube. We will have a live discussion. I actually don't know who the guest is yet. We're still working on that. It may just be covering some stories. It's a fun time. It's a more long-form discussion. We're a little bit more unedited there. That's the story that they're talking about the carpet. That's from last week's live stream. You can check that out on YouTube. You can also watch the replays of these debates every day. I get them up by the end of the night. The replay will be up here. Trying to get to 3,000 watch hours. That's when we can be monetized on YouTube. We don't want to ask people for money. We don't want to ask. You'll notice I don't ask for gifts. I don't ask for subscriptions. I appreciate every one of you who gifts and subscribes. It helps me out. But we'd like to be in a position where our content does the talking for us, and we don't have to ask people for anything other than eyes. So if you could help us out there on YouTube, you can go and subscribe. That'll give you notifications when we are live. It also gives you access to all the content that we put up there. It's free to do that. You can follow me on Twitter. If you want to join the Discord, shoot me or one of my moderators a DM. And also, in my Linktree, we have merch. I'll wear some of it tomorrow. We've got hoodies. We've got stickers. We've got cups. We've got hats. We've got Shushies apparel. We have some RTP apparel. We have Soy Boy apparel. Lots of great things over there. The link in my bio to my Linktree, click on that. You can find our merch site. And I will be back tonight at 7 and then again 9:30 a.m. to 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time every day on TikTok. You're all beautiful people, even you, HVAC. I'll see you tomorrow.